I haven't played a warlock.
I thought a gnome
Say
warlock would be
ever
Come
played
on, you know you
one.
want to.
I don't think I've ever. Just eat dinner.
Hello, thank you for joining us. This is a one-shot we are playing tonight on the Happy Jacks RPG Network. We are doing an actual play of the Highcaster system, but we're actually playing Ravenloft. So, you're probably wondering what Highcaster is. That's fine, we'll go to it. We'll get to it later. It's really great, though. You're going to love it.
It's almost like you came up with it yourself.
It's one might say a stroke of brilliance,
Ooh.
but I don't really want to speak for one. I would like to say you're going to love it, though. So if you want to look at all of the other things coming down the pike on Happy Jacks, go to happyjacks.org, and you will see everything there. Actually, I'm going to be running a campaign in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
And we're going to be starting a Temples and Tombs campaign. Temples and Tombs is my adventure pulp game, so that's going to be awesome and fun.
That sounds great.
Yeah. So this is sort of a placeholder until then.
I'm guessing I know what it's based on. It's in a pulp called Temples and Tombs.
No, it's not based on anything that's ever hit fiction before.
Okay.
It's completely unique. So, yeah. HappyJacks.org has all of the stuff, and yeah, I guess that's what I needed to say there. So I'm Christopher Gray, and I will be running tonight's game, and I guess we should introduce everybody else. Do you want to take it, Stork?
I'll start. Hi, I'm Stork. I'm here with Happy Jacks, and I'm playing... Oh, I don't have a name yet.
Yeah, you have to...
I'm playing a gnomish warlock. I haven't ever played a warlock before, I don't think. I think I played a gnome. So we'll see how this goes. I have yet to come up with a name.
Right.
And this is under the Highcaster system, so it's D&D-esque, but we'll all be learning it as we go. I got to come up with a name.
Yeah, we'll come up with characters in front of you so that you can see underneath the hood.
Hey everyone, I'm Nick, and I will be playing a halfling fighter. I will probably name him after a halfling fighter that I ran years and years and years ago in 2nd edition, but we'll see. And hope you enjoy it as much as we're going to.
Hi, I'm Kat. I'm going to be playing a human rogue, and I'm looking forward to coming up with something that I haven't come up with yet, but any minute now.
No pressure. Welcome, everybody. We're also waiting on Courtney, who should be arriving. She is running late because of real life and all of that. So hopefully she'll get here, and then we'll just bring her right in.
Boo.
She will be
life.
sitting here. This is the location. She will be playing either...
That's thinking with portals.
We'll find out, but she will play either a dwarf wizard from Waterdeep, or she will be playing an elf cleric from Candlekeep. So all of you Faerun fans, listen up. So, what are we doing and why? All right, glad you asked. We are going to be playing Ravenloft, meaning we're going to be focusing on the castle, not the rest of Barovia. Because Halloween's coming, I guess. I think I was like, why don't we do a Strahd game? So here we are. Now, we're going to be using the Highcaster system instead of D&D. And that is because Highcaster is on its way out. This is a game that was funded and is now hitting backers pretty soon, and we are going to be releasing it to the world. Highcaster is a fantasy game that uses my system, which I've dubbed the Caster system, if you can figure out where I came up with that. I mean, the genius is in my marketing department. So, Highcaster.
Were you high?
I
so
was.
It's the Highcaster system?
I was totally. You know what? That may explain something. There is a reason for Highcaster. It's because of the lucky people. They call themselves Highcast because of their good fortune, and they are the Highcaster, the people of fortune. But we digress because we're not playing that. We're using the system. One of the things I did in Highcaster is I wanted to create a story-driven, narrative-driven system that would work on D&D and other fantasy games and other D20 fantasy games, because we tend to get very tactical in those games, and I wanted to be able to pull the stories out of things like Strahd and really focus on the story and not so much worry about whether or not you got fear cast on you and you're running away and you can't join the game anymore. So that was why I wanted to use Highcaster. Now, Highcaster, the game, has an entire supplement attached to it, which is the SRD for the system. So you can actually take this system and run it on any D20 game. It's designed for anything, like if you wanted to run Old 2E, you could. If you wanted to run Forbidden Lands, you could. And so that system is the system that I'm using tonight. So it's not really Highcaster, but it drives Highcaster, so that makes sense. So here we are. That's what we're going to do.
Excellent.
Why don't we talk about your characters and what we're going to do with them? I mean, who they are.
Or to them?
That's not what I said. So, yeah, you need names. I did give you locations from where you are from in Faerun because we are playing in the typical setting. And you do need a name. You need pronouns.
I came up with one.
All right, cool. What'd you get?
Shag Strickwell.
Shag Strickwell.
Sounds vaguely gnomish, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
From the Strickwell family. You know.
The Waterdeep Strickwells?
Yes. Actually, it's in the Moonshay Isle.
The Moonshay. Yes.
Moonshay. So, Britain.
That branch.
Yeah, they didn't ever get off the island.
Yeah. And really, they found a poisoned well early on and ended up going around. It was the stricken well that just got shortened to Strickwell. And that's why he's a warlock. A lot of people died before they figured that one out.
All right. So he made a deal. Who
Yeah.
did he make a deal with?
Yeah. I guess I got to come up with a deity now too, huh?
Maybe, or a concept. Maybe it's you don't know.
What? Because it's gnomish, we are going to be dealing with earth-based magic. So
okay.
the deal he has made is with some earth-based entity rather than some eldritch god. And death is an equal part of life with earth. You have to have mushrooms along with your trees in order for everything to work together. So he's not necessarily an evil warlock. He is a natural warlock because life and death are balances of the same part, especially when you're dealing with earth. And it fits well with the spells that are narratively important that you've given me.
Yeah, there's some specific spells. Now there's something and they're basically D&D spells that are put in there as your disciplines. We'll talk about what disciplines are, but if there's anything in there that you would like, at the time in the game, I would like to do a fill in the blank. I'll probably say sure.
Since I don't know warlocks, it's not really a.
Yeah. All right, cool.
It's not like I have an encyclocopedic knowledge of their spell set.
You can try to min-max this game, but it just makes it more interesting when you do.
I actually just like playing within the parameters of the box given to me. It's kind of a lot of fun for me to see what I can do with what I've been handed.
Awesome. I'm the same way. I think constraint builds creativity.
Absolutely.
Maybe it comes from like wanting to be a comic book artist for so long. And it's like, here's Daredevil. Let's see what you can do with it.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I've seen somebody fumble that ball before.
Well, yeah, me too.
Well,
I fumbled
it
before.
happens.
What do you have here?
So I will be playing Edwin Hollowhill, who is a halfling fighter from Baldur's Gate. His family was largely content to be merchants in Baldur's Gate. You know, it's a rough and ready town, so they're very much wheeler-dealer. But he always felt a sense of wanting to move, and rather than joining like the caravans that brought things back and forth, he decided to strike out on his own. And that's everything I've got about him.
Okay, that's great.
All right. Well, apparently, I'm a red wizard of they. I just got down to that part of the page.
You were from there.
Yes,
You were from
I was
there.
from there.
You don't necessarily need to be.
But it could be fun, because I really like the idea that until that all happened to me, they really just called me you there. And I've just kind of decided to make it my name at this point, because that's the thing people have called me the most. And my greatest sin was always that it's not that anybody was mean to me, they just sort of forgot about me. And that's all going to change now. Definitely striking out on my own, and people will forget who I was before, because I'm going to be someone this time.
What was the name again?
You there.
You there. Oh, I get it. Boy, that was slow on the uptake, Chris. Okay. That's great.
Is
Okay.
that two names? You there?
You there. One word.
Okay.
Like share.
Got it. Right? Why have two names if one will do?
Yes, exactly.
And also, I forgot to mention this, but I use he, him pronouns, and so does my character.
She, her, and my character as well.
He, him, and my character as well.
And I am also he, him. So we have three characters, and I'm assuming Courtney's going to join us, so we'll introduce these in a minute, hopefully when she gets here. But until then, why don't we talk a little bit about Roland Ward. Roland Ward was, and still is, I mean, let's assume he's still alive. Just hope for the best, okay? Let's just say he is a scholar. Really, really well known in the scholarly circles. So if you were from Candlekeep, you've heard of him. But he is known for his research in the occult. That means mysteries of the unknown. So he does a lot of work in uncovering secrets about the nine hells, about the abyss, about the celestial planes, all kinds of things. He has been trying to find the source of these coins he uncovered in his research, which through his translations, he knows that these are from Barovia, but he's never heard of such a place or such a plane of existence.
Mm.
So I'd like to know a little bit more about Roland, and why did you join his research? And why are you on his team, Jack? Kind of weird, right?
What?
Kind of weird, right, that you're working with this scholar?
Yes and no. My trade is potion maker.
Oh.
And I also have artifacts and trinkets that I have yet to sort of figure it out. But mostly I'm a potion maker, and I think that this scholar might have some potion recipes tucked away in his library and his knowledge. So I'm always curious about coming up with new recipes.
So you're selfishly involved. Got it.
Yes and no. It might be good for all gnomish kind if we have come up with some lost potions that nobody's used in a long time.
Okay, so you've been working with Roland in hopes that he would give you some of his wares.
Yes and no. Also, just going through his vast library, because when you have a giant library, you can lose track of stuff, and sometimes people donate things. And so I'm looking for recipes. Yeah, looking for potion makers. I guess that's selfish, sure. But
I'm not judging. I'm just observing.
I'm actually
That's all.
categorizing stuff as we go.
Just observing. No judgment.
Well,
attacked.
Edwin joined up because he has a insatiable wanderlust, and if there was going to be an exposition to a place that no one had ever been before, he wants to be involved in that. And then also his martial skills are always useful when you're venturing into the unknown. So he's getting some practice. I think he's been hired by Roland and is excited to go on this journey.
Okay, so you're the brawn. You are going to, whatever
Yep.
dangers might be out there.
Face them, defeat them, and get mad at anyone who calls me Short Stack.
You there.
All right.
What?
I knew that was me. It's always me.
I had a moment of going like, she has a name. Oh, wait. Yes.
There you go.
That is really funny. I'm digging it.
You know, they say that knowledge is power, but for me and my trade as a spy, knowledge is value.
Wait, you're a spy?
I mean, what? Who said that? I'm a gatherer of information. Same thing, right?
Is there another entity that you serve?
Not currently.
Oh, okay.
But I am on the market if anybody's looking to hire someone. You never know. So I'm definitely looking to make my mark, and I do feel like there's a possibility that a purveyor of information could be a job in itself.
You know what sucks, though?
Yes.
Roland's gone missing.
Oh, no.
Where's my paycheck?
Right?
What
This is not okay with me.
is Roland a wizard, sage, kind of paladin?
If you had to put a name, maybe sorcerer.
Okay,
He is book smart, but his magic seems to come from nowhere.
okay, but I have seen him do magic.
Yes. But he's mostly in the books, and he's on in years. You know, he's not the young spry chicken he was 30 years ago. But yeah, he's gone. He's missing. His you came into his study one day, nothing there. You know, his desk, all of the papers and parchments, you know, the books on the shelves, but nothing, no him. And that's where he's been. He has all of his Barovia research. You were planning on trying a portal on this day. So he was getting close to something.
Okay, so it doesn't look like he packed up and left. He's just not there.
Yeah, and it might be, maybe he went to get some coffee, right? But no, it's been like 2 weeks.
He went to get cigarettes. He hasn't been back.
A vacation's where you go and don't ever come back.
Is this one of those creepy, like the tea was still in the pot and...
Yes, I'm glad you
Oh.
mentioned that. Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to ask if there's any signs of a struggle, but it sounds like it looks pretty peaceful.
It's like,
He was like in the middle of writing and then just.
yeah, he was in the middle of writing. In fact, the ink is, you know, kind of mid-word on parchment. And he was working on what looks like some sort of ritual for the portal,
Ooh,
but just like vanished.
okay. Well, I'd love to investigate the area somehow.
Well, there's a stack of research, and there's also a letter. And when you look at the letter, there's a chain of correspondence. Apparently, he's been writing to somebody in Barovia, because the letter is signed the Strahd in these huge sweeping cursive, right? And he's apparently been corresponding with somebody in Barovia. It's the first thing you find when you start looking around his office, his study. And the letters are all kind of very formal. They're saying things like, I've come to know that you exist because of these coins that I've uncovered. How do I find your location? And then the response is, you know, it's almost like a noble speaking. You have approached the greatness of Barovia, and I would be overjoyed to illuminate you with all of the possibilities. And they just kind of go back and forth like this. One is trying to out bravado the other. But the last letter is an invitation to come to Barovia, and that is where you find the ritual that he has been working on. So the Strahd person has given him the key to Barovia through this portal.
Is the incantation complete?
Good question. I think that's something you are going to have to roll for. Let's try our first roll.
All right.
Okay. We are going to use the Highcaster for the first time, so I'm going to show you kind of how it works. I don't think the viewers can see the sheet, but I'm going to hold it up anyway. We have stats here, and you get to choose stats I chose for you. Stats that I thought would be narratively appropriate. And this is going to be a die that you roll to add to the 20-sided die.
Okay.
Okay, so that's where you start. What we're doing is we're trying to figure out something about this incantation to see if it's corrupt, missing, incomplete, something like that. So why don't we use will as the stat?
All right. So I roll a base 20 plus, and then if I want to, I'm going to use the D4 on the will.
Yeah, you used the one that I selected for you, which is whatever
the
it is.
D6.
Yeah,
I see that. It is pre-filled.
So now you can choose to, I wouldn't at this juncture because this is a currency, but you can choose to add a discipline if it applies. And that will add a die that you choose. If there's a talent that you have that applies to this situation, you can also add a D6.
Folklore mysticism.
Yes, I would say that's true. This is mysticism for sure.
So that's 1 D20 and 2 D6.
Yep, and so you pick the highest of the pool and add it to the 20.
Oh, so I don't. Okay. Well, I rolled a 9, and I guess a 3. So it would be the 3 is the highest of the D6s.
Okay, yeah. So that means you got 12. Thank you. I was like math.
Yeah,
Math.
I know. Which
all
isn't
right.
very good.
Yeah, so 12. Okay, so what you're trying to do is get a 10 or higher.
Oh, all right.
So yeah, you're
Cool.
able to. By the way, if we were in a normal tabletop, I'd be throwing cards down to show what our threats are right now. And Roland is missing. Is the threat you're actually confronting. This is important because sometimes these threats get staged, so it might be like 5 things you have to do before this is resolved. But right now, we're just trying to figure out where he is, right? So this is the threat that you resolved. And when you look at the incantation, you realize at once that this is not a portal spell. This is a teleportation spell. And by reading it, you activate it. Therefore, there is a big cloud of mist filling this room. This is why he didn't finish.
Right,
Clearly.
It's suddenly very misty. And at
Or
first,
he did finish it, and he's gone too. That makes more sense. Oh, drat. Poof.
It's like when you get those smoke bombs, just suddenly filling up the room.
He was old, and he doesn't always think clearly. And I could totally see him like, oh, yeah, oh, drat. Poof.
Of course, we didn't do much better.
No, we didn't.
We didn't mention is the idea that you're not supposed to read it out loud. Read silently is important when you do magic.
Read every other word
Something
so
like
that you don't accidentally cast the spell.
Yeah, it's this is what we call a complication roll. So while you succeeded, something else happened. The rolling mist has consumed the entire room, and apparently the walls are gone now. I mean, it is so thick you can't see past your hand.
Does it smell odd, or does it just smell like like liquid?
It smells like humidity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but we are currently still in the room, correct?
No.
Oh,
now
wait,
that you
what?
mention it, you're not. There's grass on the floor. Really mottled, brown, rotten, stinky grass. Maybe it's grass. Maybe it was. It's kind of muddy. You know that mud that happens at early mornings after a rain and you accidentally step in it?
Or stables, like wet hay, mud, and awful.
Yeah.
Well, sorry guys, I shouldn't have really read the whole spell there. I wasn't fully prepared.
Well,
Phew, it smells like marshy, gross grass. Ew. Nature. Wait a minute. No, I love nature. Wait. That smells marshy, grassy. That's just like it reminds me of the Moonshea Isle. Just like home.
Yeah.
With a poison well and everything.
well, let's hope that it is home, or maybe we're on the track of finding Roland.
I hope you had all your stuff with you. I didn't prepare fully myself, but oh well.
I'm sure we'll figure something out.
Well, let's go forward and see what happens. Onward! I'm going to march forward through this squelchy, dirty grass.
Well, it was worth getting out of bed this morning for this, I guess.
I'm trying to picture your characters. Let's stop and do a tableau so that if I say you're wearing a dress and you're not, I know it, Because I want to see what gets muddy when you're just stomping through. And you're a wizard, so that's why I asked.
Okay, so for my outfit, because I am a rogue, but I am coming from the whole Red Wizards of Thay thing, I do have one of those Red Wizard cloaks that I, acquired, and sometimes do wear for reasons. But normally I'm wearing very common clothing because, you know, I got things I gotta get done. I can't be worrying about what I'm wearing. It's fine. It's clothes. It's brown. Whatever.
So you probably have boots.
Boots, pants, tunic, all very meh.
Yeah, this is the moment in the movie where we're really getting a good, like, here's the shot. So what is your okay, the adventure is starting. What are you doing?
Oh, I'm the one in the back doing this right now. Well, that happened. You're participating. I am also here. I'm not saying I'm not going to go along with this, but this wasn't what I'd hoped for today.
Camera moves on.
Yeah. and pans down. where it'll stay.
Yeah, it moves on to nothing and then goes down.
Yeah.
Edwin is he has light brown hair, no facial hair, greenish eyes, and he wears a studded leather jack, and over his shoulder is a giant cudgel that is very well polished and well loved, but also you can see that it's been used. And his other hand, he's sort of holding a what looks like sort of a stone puzzle, like a rock and a thing, and he's just kind of fidgeting with that while he looks around and tries to figure out what's going on and how we're gonna what our next steps are.
Okay.
He's about 3 feet tall. He's wearing like a long grayish, blackish coat. It's sort of like a trench coaty kind of thing. He's got the gnomish pointy cap, but it's never straight up. It's always flopping to one side or the other. It's seen better days. He's got a dark Lorcan wood staff that it's very hard, and it's sort of native to the Moonlit Isles, the Moonshay Isle. And he's got kind of like one of those sort of square wooden backpack kind of deals that is like a portable bar, but it's not a bar, it's for his potions. So, he can plop it down and you open it up and you can mix and so he's constantly got that. And then he's, packed in a change underwear and some other stuff in there as well.
And he sort of tuned into the flora around to see if there's anything.
Always looking.
This is great.
Yeah, there's an odd lily.
Ooh.
That's sort of just out in the middle of this marsh. I guess it's marsh, but it's not like deep. It's just mottled.
Stop! Don't anybody step anywhere.
What?
Somebody stop! I'm going to get down there and look at it. I got this. Don't step on any more of this. Do I know what it is?
It looks like it looks more like an orchid, but it's a lily, which is really weird. I mean, it's growing like an orchid, sort of
Why
like
would there
stuck
be a
out.
lily out here? Where are we? Are we still? Is it daylight?
If it is daylight, it's dusk, or maybe close to dusk. I mean, there doesn't seem to be sunlight, but you can see it's just really thick and misty. You can also hear the distant rumbling of thunder. But you really can't see any sort of land formations or trees, really, for that matter. If you squint through the fog, you might be able to see a tree line very far in the distance. But where you are, I mean, it's a really weird place for just a lily to grow. I don't really know how lilies grow. But
In this world, it's a weird place for a lily to grow. Look, I appreciate the diversity of nature as well, but it looks like we need to get out. We need to find shelter. There's some sort of storm coming. We don't know where we are. Roland's not here. We don't even know if we ended up in the same place as him. So we have to get moving somewhere. Because if we just stand here, we're going to get wet and we're going to be miserable.
Clearly we're far away because it was morning when we left, and it looks like it's evening here. So clearly we're very far away.
If you like the bloom, just bring it with you.
Oh yeah, okay.
It'll just help you dig it up really quick.
Get on that little knife and dig around and pull it
I don't want to have this argument. Let's go.
the lily, sort of like a sunflower following sun, starts following you as you are arranging it.
and
And you hear
makes a
wolves.
sound.
Alert, alert, someone's stealing the lily.
What would you like to learn about today? Do you want to try?
Is that my phone?
I don't know.
This is a really serious security system.
Yeah, then the lily starts asking questions.
I'm going to turn off my phone in case that's it.
This is fantastic. Yeah, so we'll dig it up, wrap it in a little piece of cloth that I
it's
assume
looking
you
at
have.
me?
Yeah, it sort of follows you around and lilts its head towards
Is there
you.
an eyeball in it?
No, it's just a flower, silly. Eyeballs.
I want to cast
Incinerate lily.
Incinerate Lily. No, I was like, I think I have a detect magic thing here, don't I?
You do, yeah.
Oh, I have a dispel magic.
You're a warlock. You can detect magic.
Okay.
This isn't like a currency game. You don't have to worry about that.
Okay.
So the threat,
Would that be will or force?
the threat that you're confronting is a strange lily.
Right. I
Right.
think it's surveillance. Though.
So yeah, this is will, because what we're trying to do is try to figure out why it's doing this thing, and this is a reflection and a divination. So yeah, you can roll that, and then you can add any talents that make sense. I think you're
I have,
you have like a-
folklore, a folklore talent, mysticism, medicine.
medicine would apply. Yeah.
12, 17.
Okay. Yeah, this is a magical creature. So, I guess fauna. That is that is seems to be following you or tracking your movements, and so you actually are perceiving intelligence from it.
Oh my. This thing's alive. It's actually...
Yeah, that's
know.
how plants work. They are alive.
You really do know about plants. That's so exciting. Hello. My name is Shag. What's your name?
It does that thing that cats do, when they like you, and starts rubbing up against your cheek.
Aww.
Well, I'm glad you made a friend, but I think we should head on.
Right.
This way.
Agreed, but just out of curiosity, would you like to go with us, little plant?
Yeah. You want to come with us? We're going to go... Or do you know where there's shelter nearby? Can you point us to the nearest castle or barn?
It goes, and it kind of points in the opposite direction where you were pointing.
Of course.
Let's follow the lily. Let's see where that takes us.
I have a talent of natural direction sense and doesn't get lost. Can I tell what direction we're traveling in?
Yes, that's very useful. You are just naturally can tell that the lily is taking you deeper into the wilderness because you can see that's where the tree line is. But when you look up ahead, you actually kind of see cultivation that might be man-made or humanity-made, and that is maybe a farm or something, but you're seeing that the landscape kind of becomes a little bit more regular. So it looks like the lily's trying to tell you to go opposite of where people would be. I don't know if that's bad or good.
I don't know what that flower's talking about, but clearly this way has people, which means it'll have a building, someone we can talk to, so we're not caught out in the rain. Maybe there'll even be an inn or someplace we can stay.
Let me ask you one more question. You didn't see an old man come through here about a day ago, did you?
It nods slowly.
Do you know which way he went?
Goes back towards the way you were pointing.
Oh.
Oh, okay.
See? Roland is this way.
But wait, is the way that he went dangerous?
It nods slowly. To remember the audio so well as the visual.
Well, at least we know what we're getting into.
I don't think it's anything we can't handle, and I'll...
You pull your shotgun out. you're doing the universal sign for shotgun.
Yeah. Oh, it was the club.
Oh, it was the club. Okay.
Well,
Yeah, shotgun feet, right
if
here.
you go that direction, the flower hisses and starts to use its vines to crawl away from you. Does not want to go that way.
I think it might be best if we leave our friend here for now.
Or we just don't go this way.
We can't leave Roland like this. I mean, he was kind of okay, I guess. I
Well,
think you liked him more than I did.
we do need to find Roland. You are right. So I'll put the lily back in its hole, and I'll pat it, the dirt around it, and say, "We'll be back."
it goes like a vomiting in your hand, and there's like this sort of translucent gel substance.
Oh, I'm going to pull out my little kid. Oh,
That's
save it.
gross.
It's like sap.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think he's into that, so that's a good thing, I think.
Roland's probably our best chance at getting back home. He is the Barovian scholar, which I presume is where we are, since the...
Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah, good question. With all these spells, do you remember the spell that you read?
No, it's way too complicated to have memorized. That's why you wrote it down. But
It was
I
like
wish I'd
2 lines,
remembered to grab
wasn't
the
it?
paper on our way out the door.
Great. So we're stuck here. That's what you're saying.
Well, I mean, we can still walk, and there's horses. And sure, we could figure out a way out of here.
He said we're stuck here. That's what I heard.
All right. I'm going
Hey,
to save this sap, and I'll look at it later when
Yeah, it might be
someplace
useful.
will get my very much.
It's a new place to explore. As other than Roland, we're the first people we know who've ever been here before. We should take a lot of notes.
Well, that's just to be said for normal. But go on then.
Are there any other footprints leading away from here?
Footprints, yeah, there would be. Yeah, it looks like there's a lot of foot traffic through here. As you go forward, it looks like maybe you are entering a path. It's very rural, though. This is like more like a hamlet, and they sort of. It's not like there's a bunch of wagons going through here, but
Right.
but there is foot traffic. You can see now through the mist the silhouette of a very large mountain, perhaps. But it's so obscured by the mist, you really can't see much more beyond that. But you can definitely see you're going into an area that has features, and some evergreens are starting to appear in the periphery. There is also a closer sound of thunder rolling in.
All right. I do a quick sketch of our friend Lily that we've left behind in case we never see them again. You never know.
The lilies sort of like digging their butt into the dirt again, and just sort of like coming back up to a posture.
Yeah. I'll just a little note that I'm constantly making a little something here and there. Not full on herbology notes over there, but yeah, something.
Looks like we're hitting some form of civilization. We should probably hurry.
I wonder what sort of coin they use here.
Well, knowing Roland, he's probably going to be hungry, so let's look for the nearest place to eat, like an inn or such, and then nothing else. I mean, we could ask about if he came by through here. He's got to stick out a bit.
Sounds good to me. I could
So-
always have a bite.
Well, since you're sniffing, I'd like to point out that the air smells very stale. It's like you are in a dungeon or a basement of some place that hasn't had a lot of oxygen. It's just weird because you're outdoors and it's humid, and so you should feel some of the smell, some of the nature coming out, but you're not. It's almost like everything's dead and decayed, but without the rot smell, stale. There's the creaking sound of a wagon approaching from the direction you're heading, and you can hear the clops of hooves.
Hello.
Well, there goes the element of surprise.
Can't see you in the mist there, but we're strangers and travelers in your area. Hello?
Who's these strangers?
Silhouette gets closer. No response to that.
Could you direct us towards an inn or someplace we might be able to stay?
There's a clap of thunder, like lightning just struck somewhere really close, and it's bright. And in that moment, there is a horse standing over you, and another horse, and a carriage that's pulling, and it's just like it appeared there, with the thunder and lightning. But there's no driver.
Little warning. Hello?
Oh my.
I'll sort of circle around to see if anyone maybe hopped off.
As soon as you get around the side, the carriage door opens. There's nobody inside. But then the flip stairs just kind of go dunk.
Well,
Is this one of those weird things like the flower where the horse is going to talk now? I'm just asking.
Look, I'm just as puzzled as you are. Clearly it's magical, and clearly it's supposed to take us somewhere, but I don't know anything about it and where it's come from. But it's pretty curious, isn't it? Let's get in and see what happens. What's the worst that could happen?
It's a mimic. That's the worst that could happen.
wow, that's dark.
Just saying.
I'm going to write some notes down.
Good idea.
Carriage mimic. People just walk right in.
Free transportation, or is it?
Well, at the very least, we'll be out of the rain.
Yeah, I'm going to scamper inside.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm checking out the horses for a second, because now that I made the joke, I'm a little bit paranoid.
Beautiful black horses. But when you get a good look at them, you see that they don't have eyes.
Oh,
It's just vacant, dark.
Like there's skin over, or like
No,
there's
just
a
like
socket,
there's
there's just
vacancy.
nothing.
Yeah.
Okay.
oh, that's terrifying. Yeah.
But they do the, as you get too close, so I'm a little
Yeah.
annoyed at your presence.
A little skittish.
Yeah.
Calm down there, horsey. This is a terrible plan, but I can't leave these two alone, so I guess I'm getting in the creepy carriage.
You just get in the carriage. I would say I'm railroading, but they
No,
have
no.
choices.
I'm entertained now. Actually, is there like where the rider would sit if there was a rider, an actual driver
Yeah.
for this carriage? Then I will get in the driver position that apparently does nothing, because I assume that these horses have no leads of any kind.
There's no
They're just
leads.
attached.
Yeah, but it's it's a really nice. I don't even know how it would be like the leather seats that are embroidered, and they're I guess that you see in the Victorian era. That you know what I'm talking about.
Oh yeah.
It's like that. It's really, really well built, and it's not rickety at all. It's very nice. This is the Mercedes of
Great.
haunted carriages. It's really,
Then I will pop on my my traveler cloak, because it's waterproofed ish, and try to act like this isn't totally creepy, and at least I'm outside of the creepy carriage.
okay. So the two of you do not get drenched to the bone by the incoming rain that suddenly comes in.
I'm going to take this time to examine the sap that the lily gave me.
Okay. Lots of sugars. Looks like, just looking at it, you can tell that it's sweet.
Does it
It
taste
tastes
okay?
very sweet, sweeter than honey. And when you do taste it, it's almost like you get invigorated. Some energy rushes through you.
Ooh, that could come in handy.
There's a bunch of light coming out of his eyes and mouth right now. It's like,
I'm so glad I'm not seeing
and then it
that.
fades really quickly.
Got a little.
Is it a little on me? Yeah. This stuff's actually pretty good.
Yeah. I wouldn't eat any more of that if I were you.
No, it's great. The lily gives him a wonderful poison, and he just shoves it right in his mouth. We're a genius party. I can't wait to see what happens.
It's a warlock potion maker.
No.
fantastic. I
It's
love it.
kind of a
No, it made perfect sense. But
Oh yeah.
like if he's gonna die.
He's going to die loving what he does.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, some sort of weird light came. It's gone now, but
you were glowing.
Well, I'm pretty happy. This is kind of interesting stuff.
No, like beams of light
Oh,
from the thing.
Does
So
this stuff glow at all? No.
I was like, no one's gonna believe you because I wasn't there to see it, and he doesn't notice it. So you're like, you're
Right.
glowing, yeah.
Okay, that's good to know. I wonder if I can
might want to write that down in the characteristics of
maybe
this thing.
maybe cut this with some distilled water so that I can make maybe 2 or 3 potions out of it.
maybe like an elixir or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm keeping an eye out the window and just trying to get a feel of where we're headed and what's going on. Is it logical sense? Like we go from trees to grassland to whatever, or is it just like different scenes as we're transported to wherever?
Yeah, like Willy Wonka's ride.
Yeah.
No, it seems to be going down this path, which opens up into a village that is completely shut down. As far as you can tell, nobody's living there, and if they are, they're not out. Well, it's raining,
Sure.
but there isn't a whole lot of proof of life. Except as you pass one house, you see a woman looking out the window, and there's
Not very friendly, people.
another
I
another
say not
person
very
is
friendly, you there.
another person is scuttling away and closing the door, and almost got seen by you.
Well, it is pouring rain.
Doors are closing, slam shut.
Since I was in the front, did I catch a little bit more of anybody's face or anything?
Yeah, they look like you would expect villagers to look. Very backwards. They're not
Yeah.
like it's not like Fae.
These are not beautiful people.
But yeah, they look like normal people, but they also look extremely frightened.
Okay.
It's like they're running away from something that is going to kill them. Children are being whisked. Well, there weren't a lot of children. It's raining, but if there were, they would have been whisked.
Sure.
But yeah, they're all trying to hide from you, and it's a small little hamlet. And now you can see ahead that you're going up this hill, which is turning into a mountain, and there is a large Gothic castle on top of this mountain.
Great.
And as soon as you see it and the camera goes up, that's when the lightning goes crack, and then torrential rain is now worse.
Wonderful. Knock knock on the carriage. Well,
Did you want to come inside?
No. I just wanted to point out that the terrifying carriage that we're in is now taking us to a terrifying castle, and I hope that was according to plan.
Roland's going to be anywhere. It's going to be a terrifying castle. I guarantee you.
That's fair.
If anything here screams occult, that does.
Well, I don't think we're going to be too popular, but we're going to have a good time, I think. And we continue on to the terrifying castle, because that's the people that we are.
Well, do you want to try... The carriage isn't stopping. Do you want to try and hop out here? I don't think we're going to get a very pleasant response from the way everyone's been acting.
Well, I don't want to have to walk up that mountain. Do you?
No. I've been perfectly happy to be warm and safe in this carriage, and
Free
it's going
ride's
to
a
take
free
us
ride.
somewhere. There's obviously a plan.
Sure, I mean, not ours, but... What say you?
I think sitting in the mystical, enchanted horse or personless carriage that takes us to a Gothic castle, what could possibly go wrong? It may not be where we want to go, but it's where we should go.
This is going to make a great story. I can't
that
wait
is
to tell everyone I know about this. Who will...
We got no other choices. We could muck around in the village for a while, but they don't want us there. We might as well go here. I guarantee you he would be up here. If he knew this castle was here, or if this came by for him, this is where he is, too.
Well, and whoever they are, they're certainly want to talk to us.
Maybe there's food up there.
Does this thing have brakes? As I'm in the front, I'm trying to see if there's any way to get the horses to stop for a little bit.
They seem to be on autopilot.
Like, are there any reins here? Nothing?
No leads. Just no bits. They're just walking.
Only
They're-
the torrential rains.
Yeah. But yeah, so onward and upward, friends.
Okay.
I'm just here for the view, apparently. I have no control over anything.
You look great, though. I mean, the cape is billowing in the rain.
Oh, yeah.
You have these majestic black horses in front of you, and lightning behind you, and it's a great tableau.
But let's be honest, due to my fashion sense, I generally look like their servant, which, never know, could be a good thing later on.
There are a lot of switchbacks up this mountain. Probably goes 10,000 feet at the end of the day.
Wow.
Huge.
Yeah.
And so it takes a good long time. Now, you should be, because it was dusk, long into night now, but it's still dusk. It's like this ever-present dark gray everywhere.
Cheerful place, truly.
The carriage goes all the way to the top. And at the top is, I almost said at the top is a summit. I stopped myself.
No, it could
But
be.
then said it anyway.
Yeah. It could be. It could be a meeting of people who are trying to work out the details of a treaty.
There's this giant castle, and the castle looks like it's almost as big as the mountain, and it takes up the entire summit. Spires, there's a really great big one, and then there are a couple of smaller ones. And there's firelight coming from the windows, so somebody's home. And as soon as you arrive at the top, it's night.
Just,
Well,
now it's night?
It just seemed to happen very suddenly.
I see.
on the way up, could we see the lay of the land? Like obviously there's the mountain, but the other direction, can we see anything about the countryside?
Yeah, it looks like rolling hills, evergreen forest, and spotted hamlets here and there. And you can see some firelights here, especially from the top. You can kind of see where people are. But because it's raining, you really don't know how many, but there's definitely settlements out there. The summit is actually, there's sort of an area where you've landed on where the carriage is, and then there is a bridge that crosses this 1,000-foot chasm before you get to the main grounds of the castle. And the other thing that you can see from this point of view is really these spectacular walls. These walls must go 800 feet or more. They're huge walls surrounding the entire perimeter of the castle. So this bridge is your only way in and your only way out. And fortunately, the bridge is down. So you could go across the bridge if you wanted to. The carriage door opens. This is your stop.
Wow, that is a very well designed castle. I'm gonna hop out. Grab my. Is it still raining?
Yes. And
Is there
lightning.
like a barn or a lean-to or a watch station or anything where we're at?
Yeah, there is. Well, there's not a barn, but there's a watch station on either side of the bridge, and then there's the bridge, and then there are guard stations on the other side of that. So you could go into one of these watch. I don't know what to call them. They're like little guard towers.
Sentry,
Yeah.
Yeah.
guard post, sentry.
Is there any movement to be seen from any of these locations?
Not at the locations, but at the castle, yes. There's firelight, and you also are seeing this swarm of bats. There's thousands of them, and they're just like a tornado circling over the top tower.
Super. All right.
Well, it's to be
In
expected.
the rain.
In a giant, lofty castle like this, you're gonna have bats. I mean, it's hard to get rid of them.
Yeah, I definitely shaped my cloak a little to give myself a little extra darkness to make sure that the firelight isn't keeping me from seeing anything closer to us.
I'll wave to the guard towers and start walking towards the bridge. If I don't see anyone, wave back.
Yeah, there isn't anybody in the guard towers.
Is there anything in the guard towers? Twigs and dust or leaves or... I mean, I'm looking more for, like, has it been occupied?
Yeah, no,
Food.
it has not. It looks like it has
Chairs.
been completely abandoned. While the castle is well built, it's not well staffed. You can see that the grounds
Clearly,
are...
if they had a staff, they wouldn't have the bat problem.
Right, yeah, exactly.
Pest control.
Right? You know.
It's overgrown. The ivy has completely taken over most of the walls. It's in disrepair. And by the way, this bridge is also in disrepair, and it is the only thing stopping you from
see,
falling 1,000 feet.
That's why we gnomes sort of live in smallish little hovels and stuff. Look at this. It's incredibly... The upkeep, the pay to get people to take care of something like this, it's terrible. And you're constantly repairing the bridge. It's really, really not very economical. It's terrible. It's terrible design. Impressive though it is.
When we got out, did the carriage stay where it was, or did it leave or disappear or anything like that?
Oh, it's just staying there.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm actually sitting in the driver's seat still, giving them a chance to get out, because I'm still a little paranoid that we're about to get jumped. Seems very odd that it didn't take us over the bridge. A little nervous about that.
Well, look at the bridge. It's full of holes and it's rickety.
Perhaps these horses are smarter than we are.
I've often found that the case.
Look. If someone wanted to attack us, they would have done it on the switchbacks where we had no chance to go anywhere.
As you're saying that, I'm still looking
Tactically.
past you.
Listen,
Oh, you don't
Technically,
say.
it would make no sense.
as I say, we may not want to be here, but we should be here, and something interesting is going to happen. So we might as well just embrace it. Let's go.
At the very least,
Show you
it's
the castle.
dry. Inside the castle.
Once we get there. What's that? Yeah, that's a very long bridge.
Well, I squeeze out my cloak a bit, because I'm sure it didn't do a very good job, but it did okay. Go ahead and hop down and pat one of the horses, which is probably going to bite my hand off.
You're going to pat one of the horses?
I'm going to pat one of the horses
Your
on the
hand
rump.
goes through.
Oh, well, that explains that.
You're a dwarf, right?
No, I'm a halfling.
Okay.
Did anyone notice the ghost horses?
Well, it's something. I mean, it's clearly an enchanted... why are you surprised?
Also fair. I don't like to have to say that to you as much as I do. But go on.
As I'm walking towards the bridge, I do have my trade is stonework and masonry.
Yeah.
That's
Can-
where I was going with this.
Yeah, nice clue. Good cue there. Can I see that the foundations at least are secure?
Yeah.
Ish.
Safest route
I mean,
across.
it's a good thing you weigh what you do.
True.
Like, I wouldn't be driving that carriage over this thing, but... All right, like, if you had to cross a bridge in these conditions,
Okay.
The way you're
you
looking
might
at
be
it,
all right. You might be all
the
right.
way you're looking at that looks like you're a friend of the stone. You plot the safest way across there, and we'll just follow you.
I'll do my best. Is it wood or is it stone?
Stone.
Oh, it is a stone
Yeah.
bridge. Okay. Follow me, step where I step, and we'll get through this.
I'll be bringing up the rear. Still a little paranoid that as we cross the terrifying bridge, someone's going to jump us.
Is anybody going to look down?
Yeah, I turn as I tell them that, and I turn back away and then cross my fingers.
It'll be fine. Is anyone going to look down? I guess at some point when I pass by one of the numerous holes or gaps in the I might look down.
Fraying stone.
Yeah.
It's like you're looking into the abyss. It just goes
Well, that's pleasant.
into an infinite point of darkness.
Well, gnomes really aren't creatures of the air. We're really more underground. I'm not looking down
I
again.
wouldn't look, yeah.
No.
The abyss might look back into you.
I mean, really, what is
I've
there
done
to
that
see?
before, and it does.
Something moved down there.
I'm sure it's a bird. We're really high up.
Do you want to look again?
No.
It's probably bats. Look, there's tons of them all over the place. Bats, bats, bats. Moving on. Let's not look at anything anymore.
Don't look down. That's all I'm saying.
Barovia has a mosquito problem.
Just straight on ahead. Let's get to this castle as soon as we can.
Step where I step, he says as he takes a straight line.
Can you, how about we run where you run?
It's wet.
Oh, wet cobblestones and running. What a lovely combination.
I don't think running is going to be a very, very effective.
Okay, but I'm not looking down again.
I support this plan. So I pick my way over the bridge.
All right, you're kind of finding your footing. It's not as bad as it looked, but it's not good either. You
Okay.
know, definitely towards the sides. It has crumbled, and some of the support beams are failing. But you found kind of the center area where it's still pretty good. There is something that's crawling on the stone behind you, and you can hear like this sound of scraping as fingers are pulling a body up. And if you look behind, you'll see what's going on.
I'm not looking.
You don't have to look behind.
Oh, I'm looking. I'm looking. That's why I'm in the back.
You see this arm made of rotten flesh grab the bridge from below, and then grab the bridge with the other arm and pulls up the
Sizing,
total
please. Sizing.
rotten body up, and he goes, and he starts crawling towards you. He doesn't have no body beyond the torso.
Okay.
So it's just this legless body dragging
Yes.
itself over
Yes.
to you.
Human size, larger, smaller.
Human, yeah. Normal.
Right. What was it? The medium-sized creature?
Right.
Well, I didn't like that at all. Can we move faster now, please? Thanks.
Yeah, let's
Don't
get to,
turn around. Don't. Just go.
let's get to stable ground if there's something right behind you.
Right. This is my handwriting could use some help, but this is a Legless Zombie, and it's a 2-stage threat. The reason it's a 2-stage threat is because it's raining, you're on a bridge, over a chasm, and the zombie's attacking you. So,
That's 3.
yeah, that's 3. We'll keep it 2. Your solution was to run?
Yeah, I'm going to take the advice of you there and don't look back and just move forward.
So my plan is for the 2 slow ones, because in my mind, because they're shorter, they must be slower. To try to hurry on ahead. I'll see if I can maybe slow this thing down a little. But I'm not a big fan of fighting it myself either.
So you actually are trying to protect the others?
I mean, don't make a big deal out of it.
Okay. All right, so this is on you then. You're rolling.
right.
You're rolling defend, which is a will roll.
Oh, great. I'm terrible in that. Fantastic. You know, it's all in the heart, though, you know?
So yeah, roll your will die, and if you want, you can spend one of your discipline dice. Now remember, you spend one of those dice, you don't get it back unless you get a rest.
Question. Would this be something where I have to physically push myself?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you could argue for that. I mean, given the circumstance.
Yeah, because that would be an advantage die. I don't know what that means,
Yeah,
but
that
it would be
means-
an advantage
That
die.
means 2d20. Oh no, I'm sorry, that's the wrong game. That means that means you get another will die.
Okay,
So
cool.
You can get 2 of those.
Christopher's invented so many games, he gets his own rules.
I love it. Okay, so I'll just roll this twice then. So that is a... Ooh, I'm going to die horribly. That's a 3 plus a 3
Okay.
plus a 2.
All right. So you pick the highest of the two you rolled.
All right, so that'll be 6. That'll be 6.
All right. So
I'm
6
crushing
isn't
it.
6 isn't good enough.
No, this is going to be bad. It's
I
gonna be terrible.
just want to make you clear. I want to make clear that that's not a good enough roll. So
I don't think
In case
anybody
you thought
knew
you
it
did
was.
good,
well,
Yes.
you did not.
I
I
heard
just
that
want to
6 was
clarify
good
though,
before.
just in case there was anybody was wondering. I'm adding an arrow to
love
this
it.
card, which means that this is escalating.
This is going very poorly for me.
You can mark an experience or.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So, this thing starts crawling up you, and you realize how horrible it is because it isn't just trying to get you; it's trying to rip you to pieces.
Oh, yeah, because I originally thought he doesn't have legs. How bad could it be?
Well, 3 of his buddies are now crawling on the side and crawling over you too, and you now are sort of like a honeybee hive of as all the bees come closing in. But they're zombies,
Oh,
and
yeah.
there's actually a bunch of them apparently that were under this bridge.
Oh, great.
So how does that make you feel?
Some might argue that I might be terrified.
Terrified. Okay, so why don't you mark harm to your force,
Absolutely.
which means you are getting closer to being afraid. So now the outcome of this is that there's a bunch of them, and they are all targeted on you.
Right.
The good news is that these 2 are clear. They're good.
Oh, good. That's great. That was my plan all along. I totally planned to be the bait for the terrifying horde of zombies, exactly as I had planned.
They're all kind of in missed pieces too. Like they're not all completely whole. They're all kind of ripped apart. They're sort of like the zombies you get on Wish.
Right. Or bag of zombies. Yeah, so my initial response is, well, I don't know if they're necessarily after us live people. Maybe I can get this one off of me and throw it to the others as an offering so that I can take off again. Because I wasn't really intending to murder them all in the first place. That's clearly not me. But have you seen those 2?
All right, so there's this coming from behind. Have you decided to look yet? Or
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll come
Turn
skidding
around at that
to a
point.
slippery stop and turn around.
I said don't look.
when you there doesn't show up with us on the edge of the thing, I turn around to look.
Okay, so you can kind of see her plan here. She's tossing the one that's on her shoulder out so that maybe it would distract and divert the others. Motion. Oh, I'm going to go get out. So is there something that you can do to help her with that?
Absolutely. I'm going to. I'll have to ask you about this. I'm going to say, "Run to us!" And I want to cast Shatter on the bridge in front of them.
Ooh.
All right, well, that's going to suck for you when you're trying to get out, but that's future you problem.
Cross that bridge when we come to
Yes,
it.
the homeowner here is definitely not going to be upset about this. This is definitely going to hurt the resale value.
It won't be hard to shatter that thing.
Perfect.
I
So,
love it.
that's one of my disciplines.
All right, so you're still going after Legless Zombie, but it's been escalated to
Horde.
shit.
But I'm not actually aiming for the zombies. I'm aiming for the stabled, or for the actual architecture.
But
so.
you're going after the threat of the zombies.
That is true.
Right.
So you tell me when I'm rolling here.
Okay, so you're
shit's
trying
the
to defend
technical
her,
term,
so
right?
this is will.
Okay, so this would be will, which is good because I got a better will score.
You
than
also
I
get
did
an
force.
you get an advantage die, so you can roll 2 wills, and that's because this is her plan.
Okay,
And
so
in fact, you're working together.
so D20 and 2d6.
Is your will 6?
My will is
Yep.
6. All right, and then that's pretty good. I don't think I'm going to spend a dice on my
Yeah,
discipline.
right. I would hold on to those, given how this game is going so far.
Well, maybe I should have added one in there.
You can, if you want, you can spend your Barovian coin
I'm
and
going
add
to
a
spend
D6.
my Barovian coin and add a d6. That's much better. 10.
Okay, cool. 10 is exactly the number you need to resolve one of the stages of this threat. Okay, so what does your magic look like? What does Shatter look like?
Shatter isn't very. There's no light or anything. I do one of these things, and the bridge begins to shake, and the stones begin to fall out of it, and one of them explodes, and the rest of them sort of fall down behind.
Okay, yeah.
Along with it.
Yeah, so they kind of like start falling into the pit, right? And so does you there. And she is surrounded by all of the rubble that you have created on your shatter, and is hanging now by the arm of a zombie who has latched itself into the earth, which is right beneath you. So she's basically on a zombie rope. And the zombie's not happy about this, but really can't do anything about it.
Right. I'm going to.
This is going well.
Yeah.
I said run.
She did, just not fast enough.
I want to. Is the zombie like biting and gnashing and stuff?
Yeah, but it's stretched and can't really.
Okay.
So wait. So she's like on one of its arms, and it's holding onto the other arm.
Yeah.
And it knows if it lets go, it's going to die too. So it's stuck.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's stuck.
I got it.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to flip my cudgel around and present the end of it into its biting mouth, and get it to bite down, and then pull everyone up. That's my plan.
All right, let's call that force.
Okay.
Can I assist him? I'm going to like grab
Yeah.
onto his belt or something and help pull behind him.
Yeah. That means then you get another force die because he's helping.
Okay.
Actually, I did that wrong. You get his force die. What's your force?
4.
4.
Okay.
And then anything else you want to add to it because of a talent or a discipline you want to spend?
I think that I'm going to hold on to that for right now. I'm going to give this a shot here.
Okay.
So my highest die is a 15.
That's your
Oh,
20
of
is
these
the one.
dice.
Yeah, these are the pools. So you do the
Okay.
pool. The modifier pool are all the extra die in addition to the d20.
Okay. So a 4.
Okay, 4. That's not okay at all.
Okay. How would...
Wait,
okay.
4 plus your 20?
Yeah, 4. So 19.
19. Oh, that's way better. Okay. I was about to think, how am I going to escalate this more? I mean, all right.
Zombies raining from the sky.
Okay, we'll call this one done then. All right, so it's still beneath a 20, right? So you just catapult them, right? And probably a little more strength than you expected. And so they are, the zombie and you there are just sort of like airborne. And after a moment, and you are you're kind of it hurts. You have a hard time standing up. Knocks the wind out of you.
Is there anything I can roll to land on the zombie to soften my fall?
Well, you could just make it true by spending your Barovian coin.
Oh. I want to save that for something more exciting. Come on.
And just to be clear, we get those back by rolling a nat 20?
Yeah. Okay. No, not that 20 or more on the total.
Oh, okay. So you could have, had you had one more point.
Yeah.
All right. Good to know.
All right. So, yeah, you did it. Everybody is free of the zombie, except for the zombie that is attached to you still and is now
Right.
trying to crawl on you. And
Again.
Yeah.
Yes.
If you have an action, that's great. If not, I'm going to
Well, I mean,
try
of
and
course,
introduce him to the business end.
as a
Gotcha.
rogue, at some point I do have to pull out whatever daggers I have all over my body that no one's seen before.
right.
And actually make an attempt to defeat this thing instead of just running away.
Yeah. You got to make a stand.
Yeah, so I'm going to be really lazy, and because it's the same legless zombie, right?
Yeah.
So its main threat is its bitey mouth, correct? So let me see if I can just get rid of that jaw there.
Okay.
So they can no longer bite me, and we'll be slightly safer.
Yeah. Right. It's going to be kind of useless then at that point.
What do I roll?
Well, it depends on, at this point, why. Because if you're just trying to protect yourself, that's one thing. But if you're actually doing this because you're angry...
I still honestly, I would have to say that I'm just trying to protect myself
Yeah.
because,
All right.
you know, it's a zombie. It's not its fault. That's just what zombies do.
Very
It's the
pragmatic.
nature of
Their nature.
zombie.
All right. Well, then that's just a will roll. Then, and,
Okay.
And then, if you want,
You
to,
should have played the warlock.
All right. Let's see. And that's a nat 20 plus
Okay.
1.
All right. All right. So
you
nat
get a
20
coin.
means that you have narrative control. So you tell me what happens, and I give you a coin.
All right. So I feel like I'm going for the classic stab as rogues do, but I miss on purpose, of course, and accidentally, on purpose, hit it with the butt of my dagger and just knock its jaw off completely. Oh, I mean, yes, that works.
And it's flapping uselessly beneath you.
Yeah, yeah.
And at that point, if you wanted to do the finishing, you don't even need to roll for that.
All right.
Or if you just
coup
wanted
de grace.
to be in misery, you know.
The golf swing at this point.
Stand clear.
What?
Like a grape.
Oh, well.
Then the hand continues to crawl the rest of the body, and then finally shudders and dies. Ish. I don't know what that is. It stops moving.
Right.
What a lovely place this Barovia is.
Yeah.
The rain stopped.
At least it's not raining.
Oh, you had to say it. Could be worse.
Don't, no, why?
That's from Young Frankenstein. Could be worse. Could be raining. Which is somehow appropriate for where we are.
Yeah. Totally.
So, obvious question. Does anyone come running out from all the screaming and bridge collapsing and zombies screaming and...
No, but the large doorway to the castle has opened invitingly to you. There's a nice warm torchlight from inside. It's opened up. It's a foyer inside, so you can't really see. There's like another set of doors past it, but yeah, it's opened up. I mean, you don't have to go in that way. It's a huge castle, and there are walls all around it. So if you wanted to like explore, I'm not saying you have to do this, but it is inviting you in.
We like Roland, right, guys? We do, don't we?
I just want the fire. It's wet and cold out here. And I'm glad we didn't have to knock on it.
Yeah, I'm not sanguine here, but I don't see what other choices we have. Apparently, if we walk around too much, we run the risk of meeting another alarm system.
Well, just zombies living nearby. I don't know if that's like on purpose. I'm going to be sick them on us. They just...
I look around at the giant castle and go, yeah, I'm sure that's a complete coincidence.
You know, I would be a big fan of closing a door between us and whatever other zombies there might be. I am a fan of that.
And the cold air. Let's go see if there's food.
Are you a hobbit?
Excellent plans.
Love it.
Yeah.
I think forward we go.
Okay. As you approach the castle, and this is true, so don't heckle me. This is what happens. All right, I'm just reporting facts. You hear organ music coming from inside, and it's kind of faint, but as you get closer, it's starting to get louder. And it's not very inviting. It's sort of like discordant.
Okay, this is not pleasant Phantom of the Opera type music. This is,
No, whoever wrote this was not a genius.
Okay, it may or may not be a cat. Just dancing around on there. Got it.
So that's what you hear as you come closer, and then you arrive. Are you just going to go in?
Yeah.
Okay. All right,
You can't say that with such astonishment. It makes us nervous.
Well,
Why? Are
I'm
you
just
gonna go in?
clarifying.
No,
I'm just clarifying.
I think in the idea of being polite, you don't just walk into someone's house. So as we get to the door, I will call out and say, "Hello, the castle. Hello, we're visitors here," and then walk in.
And then the inner doors open,
Yeah.
and you can see a much bigger great hall inside. But the foyer that you're in actually has these giant dragons made of stone, sort of like decorating the hall, looking down at you.
Ooh.
But they look like they're really looking down at you, or at least they feel like it. It's like one of those paintings where it follows you around the room. They feel like they're watching you as you walk through the foyer. And beyond in the great hall, you can see a grand staircase coming down, chandelier. It would be beautiful in its prime, but even from outside looking in, you could tell it's completely run down, dilapidated. There's cobwebs everywhere. No lights are on except for distant torches. You had an idea?
Yeah, it's just folklore mysticism. What kind of dragons are they?
Oh, they are red wormlings. You can tell by the shape of their heads
And what do I know
their
about red
size.
wormlings?
They are evil, but young dragons. Good thing they're made of stone, right?
Right?
Yeah.
Are they? That's using, can I tell if this is actual stone or is it enchanted somehow?
Can you tell? I don't think you have any
He's
skills
got that
for
stone.
Oh,
Well,
stonework.
yeah,
Yes.
I'd be able to tell if
no,
they're-
that stone doesn't work like this.
Okay.
No, it's not. It cannot be carved into this level of detail. They haven't invented 3D printers yet. So this is definitely enchanted somehow.
All right.
Those are some really detailed statues of red wormlings.
I'm not sure they're statues.
Oh,
Yeah.
let's get inside.
Let's put another door between us and
Yeah.
As soon as you walk in, as both sets of doors close,
Who decorates with red wormlings?
the same person that decorates with gargoyles that are stationed all over this great hall in
At
the
least
rafters.
there's a tradition of gargoyles, but red wormlings.
This is a huge vaulted room. There's a grand staircase. There's also a corridor going off to one side where the light's coming from and the organ music is coming from. And the smell of food.
Ah, I say we go that way.
I tend to agree. If someone's playing, if they're the owner, they can we can announce ourselves, and if they're not, I'm sure they can point us in the direction.
Nothing else I got to apologize for is bridge.
It would only be polite, I suppose.
I'm not sure I would lead with the bridge.
Boy, he really let this place go. That chandelier was, that's worth a small fortune in and of itself right there.
Maybe let's not insult the interior design of the scary castle.
That's a fair point, says a voice.
Ah!
See? Rude!
Is it rolling?
No, there's a aged for an elf walking down the staircase who is the long, dirty brown hair, wearing rags basically, and apparently he appeared at some point and was listening.
Did the music stop?
No, music's still going.
Is this Riffraff the elf?
You riffraff the elf. Well, riffraff was an elf.
Well, we were just talking about how our friend here is going to apologize for the bit of damage to the castle bridge.
Hey, you're an elf. What are you doing in a castle?
There are lots of conversations. Let's start with the master's displeasure of the bridge that you so eloquently mentioned.
Which he was apologizing for, of course.
The master has no need for a footbridge.
So he's not upset then?
There was a question before this one. I do not recall.
I said, hey, you're an elf. You're in a castle.
Yes.
Yeah, what are you doing in a castle?
I live here.
That's fair. Yeah.
The
So,
master cares not. He is delighted to have visitors.
Well, and speaking of visitors, we're actually looking for someone, sort of a humanoid, human-sized older man with a staff and a beard. Did he pass this way?
You mean human-sized?
Yeah. Yeah.
The master will answer all of your questions. He invites you to dinner.
Oh, food!
And he gestures broadly towards the corridor with the organ music. He's on the staircase.
I'm sorry, did he introduce himself?
No.
Okay. I'm sorry. First of all, so rude of us to just walk right in. I'm new there. How may I make your acquaintance, Mr.
Rahedin.
Raiden, thank
I
you.
serve his master.
So, folklore mysticism, do I know the House of Rahadin, or is it a famous elvish family?
Good question. Let's go with it. Yes, it is notoriously evil household of elves that were masters of chaos magic and demonic powers, and it is only natural that somebody from that line would be
Living
serving. But the chances are that service, he maybe did something to enter a more fiendish contract, probably with whoever owns this castle.
Being a
How
warlock,
encouraging.
I'm kind of familiar
Yeah,
with all of that.
probably a warlock situation.
Great. I don't know any of this, so I'm just
No.
pushing forward like, oh, well, how kind of you, welcoming us.
Do you want to lead the way, or should we just go ahead unannounced, or...
Oh, my hospitality! I have not seen visitors so long. And he kind of walks, but it takes him like a long time walking down the stairs. one step at a time.
And we are not from here, so we're not familiar with your master. Could you please tell us a little about him? I'm sure he's quite dignified with this amazing castle and niceties.
Strahd von Zarovich is the master of the realm. His hospitality knows no bounds. And he continues to walk step by step by step. He had to stop to tell you that. He couldn't
good.
walk and do that.
Good. Then I will continue to ask questions to make him stop over and over again because it seems very foreboding.
Check the non-existent watch.
So just assume it's an excruciating walk of stupid questions. Oh yes, I think your master's great friends with our friend Roland, and I'm pretty sure that they had a correspondence, and ask questions all the way through.
He answers them, but they're always surface level. They're always sort of grand statements like, "But the master is wonderful at blah blah blah," right? Without answering anything. Gets to a point where he finally gets to the bottom of the stairs, and now he starts traversing the Great Hall over a period of time.
This man needs roller skates.
Some Heelys.
Just push right along.
I'm kind of picturing the Tim Conway old man with the tiny little shuffle that he did. I'll be right along. We're turning your horror game into a comedy. I apologize.
That's what it's for. That's what it's for. We're here to have a good time and celebrate All Hallows Eve. Right?
But I must ask, do we note any other movement as we're going through this excruciatingly long, slow walk?
No, I mean, but this place is it's been abandoned, and the cobwebs are so thick. And it would have been a beautiful place eons ago, but it's been completely covered over. There are tapestries, but those tapestries have been covered with sheets, and it doesn't look like anybody's been here in a long time.
All right.
Does Rahadin walk normally? Or is there like a floating aspect?
Yeah, he walks. He's physical.
As old, but
yes, he's physical.
Does it have any horsey vibes?
No, he's a physical person, but yeah, he is aged or just weird. You haven't quite figured it out because elves can live a long time, so who knows if he's actually old. It might be. He has these sort of a sallow expression. It looks like he doesn't eat very much, and so he might just be sick or cursed or something.
Just evil.
He might be a stereotype. I don't know. Might be a trope. So he eventually leads you around the corridor to the dining hall, where the organ music is coming from, and warm light. Quite the juxtaposition from the room you were in. As you're going in there, you can see there's actually a spiral staircase going down and up from here. And so now you can as you've oriented yourself, you can see there's that great staircase, there's this staircase, and there's another way out over here. So there are ways to get around the castle if you need to for some reason. But he takes you into the dining hall, and the music is just filling the room. And there is a man playing at the organ wearing a beautifully crafted cloak, dressed to the nine. And just really into the music, like Phantom of the Opera style. Really just getting into it. And behind him is this table full of food. Roast, fruits, steamed vegetables. It's just there's flagons of mead and wine, and it's just this great display. And there he is playing the organ. So Rahadin lets you in, doesn't say anything, and turns and walks away.
Great Master Strahd von Zarovich, which I definitely said right because I wrote it down not that well, but we know that I knew how to say it. Your servant Rahadin has told us so much about your grandiose home, and we're so grateful that you've welcomed us to your amazing castle. Niceties.
The music stops, turns around, and stands, and he is magnificent looking. Like, this is definitely a juxtaposition from the castle. He is, I'm describing Dracula. the one that we know. And he's just huge presence, and he has a very large smile as you come in. Welcome, guests, to my humble home. I am so pleased that you came to join me. Delighted, in fact. Now, if you will please take advantage of my courtesy and enjoy this feast that I'd have prepared for you.
Oh, how did you know that we were going to arrive?
I know all that enter my realm.
Oh, then you know of our friend Roland, who was here and seems to be a friend of yours from your lovely correspondence.
I've corresponded with Roland Ward, yes. It is true.
Oh, is he also...
You are seeking him, then.
Yes, is he also a guest here, currently? And alive.
Perhaps he was sloppy with his notes. And you stepped into a realm that you were not to attend to. The cat is, as they say, out of the bag, then. Roland is here as a guest.
As a guest.
Will he be joining us for dinner?
He is indisposed.
What a disappointment.
I see. You wish to take him back with you.
Oh, would that be an issue? I mean, as you are clearly great friends.
We're not Roland's masters. If he wishes to stay, then by all means we would accede to his wishes. But he did leave rather abruptly, and as we are in his employ, it would be just best to check in.
Yeah, as you said, it was a big mistake being here. So if you could just show us to Roland, we can talk to him. Then we'll head out, back out. So is there another exit, by the way? Because that bridge is pretty rickety.
The apologies that you were going to make.
Yes.
The apologies.
Sorry that your bridge is so rickety it fell apart.
Let's play a game.
Oh.
Damn it, Saw. Where's the little tricycle? I'm not having this.
A game?
Charades? Parcheesi?
Strahd pulls out a little giant hourglass.
Would you just so happen to have?
Lovely.
You may find your friend Roland Ward, and you will be free to take him home with you,
How generous.
as long as you do so before the last sand hits the bottom. If you do not, then I shall accept you into my service.
Oh, that seems to have done Rahadin so well.
You may begin.
Well,
He's gone. Firelight's gone. It's completely dark. There's a huge gust of wind that snuts all of the fire. And then you hear the cascading sound of all of the shutters and the doors and the windows of the castle closing all at once. And then it's dark
And the food is
quiet.
gone too?
No, food's there.
Oh, okay. So the food was real.
The food was real.
Okay, good.
This person you were talking to was not, probably. I don't know. But he's gone. And
Like an
it's
apparition.
completely silent.
Well, I guess we'd better make short work of our looking for Roland, then.
Yeah, but not on an empty stomach. We need to plan anyway.
You can take it with you. Let's go.
Well, let's sit here and talk for a little bit.
No, we could walk. We could walk with
Well,
the
where are
food.
we walking to? Do we want to go up or down?
Yes.
Do we want to start on this ground floor, or do you think maybe it's down lower in the dungeon?
Or you could go straight along on this floor, too. So you could go up, down, straight.
Now, let's list our assets here. Do any of you have any tracking abilities or any way to, make shorter work of this than just traipsing around this drafty old castle?
I don't think we have a lot of time to formulate a plan.
We're a bit of trouble.
Can we see, did he leave the hourglass?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't think we've got a lot of time, so maybe we want to do a quick lap around the base, and if we, on this floor, and if we don't see anything, we'll try going up.
Do you have any magical means of tracking Roland?
No, not of tracking him, but I might be able to help him out once we get there.
Any way to speak to him, possibly? Communicate with him? Since we know he's in close range somehow?
Really depends on what I can do with a minor illusion.
Oh, no, be creative. You can, since it's not D&D, we can kind of do what you want to.
Can I see or sense anything through illusion that I would make, or can I have it report back to me?
I don't see why not.
So I could basically make a crow and have it fly out and check stuff out outside, or even up through the...
I think it'd be pushing your abilities, so we can roll for it.
Of course. I'm just asking if that's a thing that we can do first.
Anything's possible as long as it makes sense in the context of your character. So,
all right, so
I think your powers could work like that.
So I'm going to make a minor illusion of a crow and have it search up.
All right. The conflict is, where is Roland?
The crow goes up,
Yeah.
and we go down?
Possibly, or we just wait here for a minute and see what he sees.
I don't like any of the waiting part. And I say that quite clearly to you.
The food smells great. I mean,
I can't stop looking
I'm
at
gonna-
this
I'm gonna start
hourglass.
eating.
yeah, it's good.
Based, on,
Big turkey leg.
based on what I'm seeing, this is not an hourglass.
I'm going to grab like a big,
Think is a half hour glass.
Yeah.
a hunk of cheese,
Yeah.
and then I think we should start looking. Unless you want to give your crow friend a try.
I do. We're going to do both. We're going to just simultaneously. What am I rolling for this?
I think you are
A will?
force. Well, a scout is find something hidden.
Right.
So we're going to use force.
Oh, that's not good. All right. And are there any conditions here that I...
So I suppose your folklore doesn't work. Mysticism doesn't really work. Do you have anything under heritage on the back?
Hardy, get an advantage die to use once when you take a harmed will.
All right. Okay, so I think that's it.
No problem. 15, 16, 17.
Okay. Yeah, this is something you haven't done before, so it's kind of a new experience. And it's sort of superimposing the sight of the illusion onto your sight. So it's disorienting at first.
Okay.
But then you look up and you can see you're looking for
Roland.
You're looking for Roland up. Okay.
So he's either the bird will fly through the corridors and see if it can find it, or fly outside if it can, and go up to the spires and check it out and come back and report to me. Or if I'm seeing through it, then that would work too.
Yeah. So what happens is you get a good layout of the castle, but you do not find Roland.
Nothing up in the spires.
The spires are there's definitely things up there, and you can't really tell what because it's dark and you're going through fast. But there are people up there. You're tasked with looking for Roland. You don't see Roland. You kind of end up in one spire, and you see the full-on witches over like a pot, and they are doing full-on folklore medicine in it, and the fire and all this stuff. And so like you kind of leave that, and then you end up in another one, and there's this woman sitting on a bed, just distraught and unblinking. And you leave that, and you end up in another room with this man that looks like a noble just pacing the floor. And then you end up on the top tower, and inside is this giant crystal the size of the entire tower, which is a huge tower. And it's this bright red crystal suspended over everything. And then you kind of end up there, and you see all these bats. And there's all kinds of weird fucking shit in this castle. So you don't see Roland, but you do see a good layout on kind of how to navigate the castle, which is probably more valuable when you're done. Mm-hmm. And when he's doing this, the rest of you see him kind of like his eyelids are flipping, and it's sort of in this weird meditative state. So you really can't move until he's done. You've never seen him do this before.
I mean, I could just carry him on my back for a bit.
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah. So when you come to, you're being held.
You're piggybacking. You're piggybacking.
Don't. Okay. Well, I got a pretty good layout of the castle. There's a lot of people here, but I haven't found Roland. So I say
noisy.
we try down.
I immediately pull you off my back. Oh, he's so noisy, and just stand you up again.
Using
Right in my ear.
Using my talent for battle strategy and tactics, if I were going to be keeping a guest somewhere that was secure, where would be most likely up or down.
If it's a guest of honor, well, honor isn't the right word. If it's a guest that you could negotiate with somebody with, like you need a ransom, up. But if it's a guest that you don't care about and
Right.
you just want to imprison, down. So
Also,
it depends.
he is
Like,
a-
it's hard. You haven't been able to judge the character, but you can tell by the correspondence that maybe they were in at least a formal relationship. It might be weird that he was thrown in the dungeon.
Right. I think we should probably head up. You got some good information about what's there?
Yeah, well, there's a bunch of hags and up a cauldron. There's some noble pacing, but that wasn't rolling. And there's a bunch of bats way up at the top. We knew that. And then there was also
There was a woman sitting kind
woman
of stoically
sitting
in one room.
very stoically just in the corner of her bed. Now, this place has got a lot of rooms, and I can get to all of them. But that's what's up. I kind of feel like maybe he's down, only because if he's a powerful enough wizard, he's more of a threat than he would be a guest.
Well, he was powerful enough to get here.
Exactly.
Well, I'm still walking, and I hope you guys are still following me.
So what
You're
direction are you
walking deeper into the floor. You're
Oh,
going
you're
down.
going down?
You're in this large corridor, just kind of heading deeper into the castle that has statues. These are actual statues of.
These other ones weren't.
They look like just your typical standard like your knight in shining armor castle statues, and they're lining the entire hall. At the end is a set of double doors that have the signature "I am a chapel" windows. Sort of the triangular topped windows.
Well, let's try there first and
Well,
see if there's any.
If you two are determined to go down, we should stick together. So
Right
Well-
now, you're going straight ahead.
Well, the crow didn't fly this way, so let's at least check out the chapel. Maybe there's some info in there. Maybe there's something we can use. Clearly, there's enough undead around here that chapel might be an okay place to be for now.
Okay.
Yeah, to the chapel.
What do we see inside the chapel?
You open up the door, and that doesn't open right away. Something's blocking it, and and it's like one of the pews has been knocked down and crumbled in front of it. When you open it up, it would have been a beautiful chapel in its heyday, but it's been completely wrecked. It's like somebody had a temper in here and threw things and broke stuff and tore down holy symbols. And there is a garden out back that had a window, and the window's been smashed. But you can see outside in this garden out back. And there's a balcony over the chapel. And there's this altar, which is sort of an all-purpose altar in the Forgotten Realms, right, where it can be used for anything. But there's a dead body on top of the altar. Looks fresh. Like, it's not, it's a corpse, but it's not like a skeleton, right?
Right.
And it's gripping a holy symbol that's sort of a statue. And it looks like sort of like your generic holy symbol. And so apparently this person has grabbed this symbol and then died.
Well, I'm going to march up to it. I'm a warlock. What do I got to
Yeah.
do here? Is it rolling?
No, it's just it looks like one of those villagers. Like he's wearing the drab clothing, but he's got a satchel full of jewels and coins. So you gather he might be some sort of thief, just trying to grab the stuff.
What denomination? I'm sorry to do this to you. What denomination? A is the chapel, and B is the holy symbol that he's grabbing.
It's sort of an all-purpose chapel for any denomination,
Okay.
but the holy symbol belongs to the general equivalent of the All-Father. So. Yeah, I can't remember who that is in Forgotten Realms, but it's, the not Thor, but the Odin figure.
Okay.
And so let's say it's Odin. It has a lightning on it. I don't know.
Sure, that's
But
fine. That's fine.
It's just call it like a
Really,
statue.
I was just, as long as it isn't an evil god, that's fine. So
Yeah,
that-
no,
that
it's
we-
not.
Yeah, good. All right.
I don't know I don't know if touching that killed him or if he just happened to be clutching it, or do either of you have any affinity with Odin?
No. One other question. Did it look like he brought this with him, or was this already here?
It was already there. It looks like he
Okay.
was grabbing it.
He's definitely not Roland, and what I would like to do is find Roland. So I'm not too concerned about this, because I'd like to be finding Roland right now.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of touching the creepy possible holy symbol that maybe killed him.
That's fair.
Yeah. Let's remember where this room is, though, just in case.
Right.
Agreed.
I'm gonna look out in the garden. Any interesting herbs and
Yeah, tons. And stuff that you know, but stuff you don't. And it looks like you could do an entire apothecary out here.
That's tempting to just stay there and do that, isn't it?
Yeah. And it's all overgrown. It hasn't been nurtured. It's almost better because now it's in the raw.
Wow. I could spend years right in this garden right here. So definitely we got to remember where this room is.
This is like your dream castle. It has
Yeah.
all the food. It has
Yeah.
all the plants. It's got...
Past the garden is a cliff that goes to God knows where. This is sort of like the end of the mountain.
Well, it's usually my experience that they have a crypt and such around in chapels. We want to poke around and see if there's a way down from here.
Sure.
Do we want to head into a crypt? I mean, the implication is that Roland was alive and unharmed.
Yeah, that's true. And considering the zombies, we don't
Crypt
want to.
seems unlikely.
Yeah. I'm thinking dungeon or downstairs room of some sort, but again,
Well, the sand is ticking, so we should. Sand is moving. We should go.
Yeah. I do a quick search of the body, not to get any jewels or
Oh
coins.
yeah, there's
to
a whole
see.
satchel full of that.
Just checking for keys or
Oh.
anything else that could help us, maps, etc.
ooh, nice.
Yes, there's a skeleton key in there.
Mine now. Leave everything else as is. I don't know if he stole this from Strahd. None of my business.
Nice.
So from the chapel, you can go back the way you came, but there's also these little side. I don't know what those are called.
Nave.
Yeah, thank you.
Alcove.
Naves, and they have stairs that go up. So your choices at this point are, go deep into the bowels of the castle over by the dining hall, go up the grand staircase, or go up this weird back way in the chapel.
Well, let's try up. We're here. I don't want to go back where we came. Let's just keep going forward and up for now. Let's see what happens.
As he's saying that, I'm already walking. Like, sure, okay. Let's go.
Yeah, so it goes up to another platform, and there is it's a sort of a staircase landing.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get up to this landing, you can see that the stairs go down the other side of the chapel, and now you're going up another staircase that's going into like the Great Hall. You can tell from below this is where they do the audience hall thing. This is sort of the big chamber above. So if you continue this way, you'll be going into like a very big open room, probably with a throne. You can tell right now this is where it is. Now the large banners that have the royal symbols are all torn down and shredded, but this would have been magnificent at some point. So, assuming you want to go up there without caution.
Looking at, the tatters of one of the banners, can I tell what the symbol was, or is it anything familiar?
It looks completely alien to you, but it does have the same markings as the Barovian coins.
Okay.
So,
Well,
the right place here.
I think being on our guard as much as possible, we will head in that direction.
Is this going back towards the center of the castle?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're going back over. So this would be built over the big corridor you were in.
Okay, I'm still bringing up the rear.
Yeah. There's
Well, if we go towards the back, I think it'll get us to one of the spires going up again, but we'll see. I don't know if there's a...
Be a good place to look for Roland. If he's in one of the spires, it would be secure.
I didn't
If
see
he
him,
was still
though.
a guest.
That's the problem. I did see other things that may or may not want us poking around, but we'll, sands a ticking.
You did describe that what you saw, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so perhaps we could ask one of either the woman or the noble if they've seen him.
It's also entirely possible that there's lots and lots of rooms full of people that are trapped there, and perhaps Roland is one of them. I only caught a glimpse of 3 rooms. Like a menagerie of...
Which one's closest?
I don't know. We gotta go
Forlorn
for some room
individuals.
first and see how it is, yes.
Roll the die on other possible prisoners.
There's lots of prisoners here.
You mean guests? Guests.
What did you say?
He said guests.
All right. Well, the audience hall probably hasn't been used in hundreds of years. Completely covered with cobwebs.
Mm-hmm.
There's a throne at the end that hasn't been sat in ever, probably. And there is one woman with one broom sweeping slowly in the middle of this hall, which is all dark. And many of you can see in the dark. Actually, I think
Not me.
not you. All right. You two can see in the dark. But it's almost completely dark in there, and you can hear the storm is starting up again outside. There's a big window looking the other end of the castle. So this thing takes up the whole stretch of the castle. Huge room. And in the middle of it is this one woman who is just sort of like, with her hair tied up, sweeping in the middle of this floor that is full of dirt from hundreds of years of dust. And she's just sweeping in this one spot.
Is it an incredibly clean space, or she's been here for a long time, or is it she just showed up?
Yeah, she's just pushing dirt from one end to the other.
Excuse me. Excuse me, madam?
She like drops her broom and in a second is flying towards you, claws and teeth out.
All right, I'm going to cast a protection from evil on the three of us.
What makes you think she's evil? Have you talked to her?
And what made you wait so long? Now you're considering it might be evil around here?
I don't know how long this spell lasts, but for now,
As long as the story needs it.
right?
All right, you have met
I
Helga.
just also want to remind you that I still have whatever that potion was that I...
Yes, you do.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what it does, but I wanted to remind you just in case Helga decides to take a bite out of me. All right. What do I need to do to cast this spell?
Okay, you are defending yourself, I guess?
No, it's protection from evil on all of us. I'm assuming it's a protection defense spell for us.
Right.
Yeah. But I guess I'm protecting.
Yeah, so this is will.
Good.
And
You
since
like
you're
that?
using that spell, you can use the discipline die, but remember, you're spending it.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you can definitely add your mysticism to this, because this is kind of what you're
What
doing.
is that?
Right?
Does that give me another 6?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to wait on that. That should give me plenty. It does. That was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17.
17. All right. So she comes. I think you were the first there, right? Probably because you were calling out. So she has jumped on you, and it's like you're on fire, and her skin boils immediately, and she hisses and jumps back and crumbles down, and then. Okay, what did she do? What did she do? All right, so she turns into a bat and is flying around, and then goes out the broken window. And in the next minute, 10
There's
more
a
bats
whole
are
lot
flying
more.
in. And they are shifting into these vampires. And they drop down, boom, 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 boom. There's 6 of them. And they're walking around you, hissing, knowing that you are protected in some way. But you're surrounded.
I think we should go.
Forward?
Uh,
That's where the other towers are. As bad as past that throne.
sure. As I start moving forward, does the field seem like it is going with us, or does it seem like I'm reaching the edge of
No, it's
protection?
cast on.
It's cast on you.
Do we
yeah.
see him do anything? Do we see him do anything?
Oh, yeah, what did it look like when you cast that?
Yeah, I guess I did a little muttering of something and thumped my staff down.
Okay, so we're like, cool.
And all
some
of you
sort
guys got like a
magical-
little, yeah.
Yeah, the magic-y thing happened, and hopefully now we're not going to die. Super cool. Super cool.
Never know how long it's going to last, so we should book it forward.
Yeah, the quickest way out is like to the side of the audience chamber and deeper into the castle. Or you can go back the way you came, but you're sort of surrounded, so they're going to be going after you one way or another.
All right.
If back the way we came, is it a narrower hallway? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it was a staircase landing.
I think we should head back the way we
All
came.
right,
If
you're
they're
the
gonna-
tactician.
if
You're the
they're going to
tactician.
come for us, I want to have a choke point.
Clearly they're vampires. I know about vampires. And they don't like chapels. Let's go down there.
Yeah, you go.
An excellent point.
So when the vampire touched him, then it had a physical burning reaction. So you were not harmed, but the vampire was harmed.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm like, great idea. And I just turned back and it's like, we're here looking for our friend Roland, and unless you'd like a big hug from one of us, I think you should probably help us with some directions.
All right. You're going after the same threat, which is Helga. And this is charisma.
I never said I was a role model. Okay. And I'm going to spend one of these attempts to intimidate someone to get what you want.
Yes.
Ooh, nice.
That fits.
Perfectly. Very nice.
Should fit right in. Okay, so one of these, and then it's a charisma, and then the D20, right? Okay. Please be not bad. Okay, so it's a 10 plus a 6 plus a 2, so that'll be an 18.
18. Wow, that's a good roll, but not 20.
Glad I spent, though. Was worth it.
Oh, but you're only picking the top dice, right? And
So
the highest dice? Or do you add all three of them up?
You don't add them all. You pick the highest of the pool.
Oh wait, and
Yeah, sorry,
even
I
if
don't
you
think
spend one of these guys down
Yeah,
here?
so what you're doing is you're making the 20 is going to be your roll, and then
Yeah.
you add the highest of the pool that you build.
Oh, okay.
So if you rolled on the what die did you roll?
I rolled the D4 here, and then I rolled my regular D6 here.
All right, and which was the highest?
This was the highest, so it'll be 16.
16. Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
I just want to be clear.
Yeah. The rules are a little different than what most players are
I'm
used
learning.
to. So so Helga, the person who is sweeping, sort of does her gesture and stops the other from circling. And then she says,
I'm giving her one of these.
the old man.
Yes. Describe Roland really quickly.
He's in the dungeon.
Wonderful. And if you could just show us where that was or give us directions, we'll be out of your hair so quickly.
I want to make some sort of an insight check on that. It's in the dungeon.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to tell if a wild vampire like this is lying, but she didn't seem like she was lying, but more uncertain. And then she points at the one of the staircase. Well, she points at a corridor behind you.
Mm-hmm.
The tower stairs go down there.
What?
Let's hope your spell lasts.
Or I can always cast it again.
But thank you. We've got to go. Hopefully we don't cross paths again. Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Bye!
That threat's done.
Is vampirism considered a curse?
Depends on who you're talking to, I guess.
Depends on whether or not you like it.
I mean, Lestat, no.
Lewis, yes.
Lewis, yes. I was trying to remember his name.
I'm just wondering what happens when you cast Remove Curse on a vampire.
No, we can find out. The dice tell us that kind of thing. Now, here's the thing about that. If you want to try that out, the way these threats work, I'm introducing threats by showing you what's going on in the story. But if you want to roll, you have to go up against a threat. There's no threat. She just resolved it.
Right.
You could allow me to make a threat for you, and then I would give you a Barovian coin.
For science.
Or since you don't have a if you had a Barovian coin, you could pay for that. But since you don't,
You can say yes, it works.
so yeah, so you can, if you would like to do that, I can make a threat and kind of escalate the situation into something that would require you to do something.
Let's just... How many vampires are there?
There's, I think they said there were 6.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
I think I'll wait till I get a one-on-one, maybe, or if
Yeah.
there's something else. Yeah, we'll see.
You
Okay.
might be lucky enough to find your own threat later on.
You too can be threatened.
That's a much better... Yes. Much better way of saying it. I'll wait till I'm direct. Yes.
Okay.
Why, who in the right mind asked that? Yeah. Threaten me, DM. Let's do your worst.
Well,
that.
knowing that you're not out of the game unless you want to be, sometimes that can be fun.
Yeah.
Okay, so you are going to follow her directions down.
Yeah. What do we have to lose besides that hourglass that's really going fast.
Yeah. So are we going to follow our directions, or are we going to go opposite?
We might as well. We got
Okay.
another choice, and if nothing else, we can come back.
We're going aimlessly anyway.
Right.
All right.
It's at least it's a lead.
Okay. So I think we head down those stairs.
All right. Well, they are tower stairs. So you are in this really confined space.
Single file.
Single file. And it smells like rot. And the farther down you go, the more it's like mildew and rot. So it's humid down there, and there are things rotting down there. And the stench becomes a little overwhelming. You finally emerge after you seem to be going for a long time. And at the bottom is a vast, vast chamber, probably the entire size of most of the castle. But you're subterranean now. And there are countless tombs built into the entire chamber. And some of them are extremely ornate, like you would see in New Orleans. Some of them are very simple. And they are just strewn throughout this entire chamber. And it seems to go, well, it goes farther than your vision.
Oh God.
And then you can hear the trickling sounds of water coming off from over here as some chambers are going off deeper into the castle.
How disturbing is this? Is the smell?
It's, I would say on a scale of 1 to 10, it's a 6.
Okay.
Still pretty bad.
Yeah, distracting but not debilitating. Right?
Okay. Well, I think that if Roland is down here, there isn't a lot we can do to help him.
It truly is a dead end.
Dang it.
Well, let's actually hope not. We've already had an experience with the dead.
Let's just get across this as quickly and quietly as we can.
Do you think we should, or maybe just
Go back up the way we came?
Go up the spire?
What, are you scared?
I think that we're going to have a better chance of finding him up, and I'm not great considering that we've been surrounded by vampires, bats, and zombies going through an area that is
Oh, he's
completely
rolling things.
covered
I don't
in
like
dead.
that. I don't like when he does that.
Yeah, well, we probably shouldn't
Well,
be
yeah,
talking.
a GM rolling on a non-GM dice game?
Yeah,
it's
no,
not
it's not good. No.
Yeah. The whole corridor full of dead things. No, let's go up. Maybe we can find another way across. I don't want to cross this. You're right. That's a better idea.
So I think we're going to reverse course and start heading up.
Yep. Nope.
Yeah, it's one of those.
You turn around, and there is a very large person in plate mail armor and a sword blocking your way from the way that you came. And has the sword up like this, standing over it.
Nope, go.
Like the sword is down?
Yeah.
Okay.
Nope, going back across.
And
All
there
right.
is sort of some licking flames coming out of his visor.
Nope, not a big
You
fan of that.
smell brimstone.
Well, if you'd just excuse us, we were just headed up.
If he says none shall pass.
If she says none shall pass, she's going to put a habit on and go.
Oh.
You knew I was a scorpion.
We
That's
do have
one.
an X card in
That's
play.
one.
And you can,
Yeah. Do we have a, yeah. The puns get bad enough.
you say that, and it's like, sword is up, and he's coming at you.
Okay.
Can I cast Dispel Magic on it?
Of course. Wonder what's going to happen.
I don't know.
We'll find out
Wizards, do some
after
wizarding.
these messages.
Sorry. Warlocks,
So-
do some wizarding. Yeah.
Is that a will or a force?
Force, I think, at this point.
Okay.
I mean, technically, you're trying to defend, but the reason, really, the role is a motivation. What's your motivation? Your motivation is to, like, disintegrate him, basically.
Folklore mysticism?
Depends on how you're doing it. How can you weave that into the spell?
I'm thinking that this is an evil knight from folklore, and I want to dispel it back to where it came from.
Okay. Let's go with
It's
it,
an
then.
animated suit is what it is, and I
Yeah.
want whatever creature has been animating it is either trapped in it, and I want to free it.
Yep. Then add your D6 to that, and we have a pool.
Oh no.
Yes.
6, 7, 8.
Okay, so as that's going on,
As that's going to escalate, you
'cause-
mean?
yes, because
All
I
right.
didn't know he was
Fire Knight
casting
guy
anything.
has been escalated.
My plan is to duck under the sword swing and come at him with the cudgel at the knee, because I know that most opponents are going to underestimate me for my size,
Yeah.
and that if they're high, I can go low, and that's not what they're expecting.
Okay.
So I'm using battle strategy.
All right. Build your pool. In the meantime,
Okay.
so you cast the spell. You know it's supposed to work, but it fizzles. And then another little folklore note comes up, and you go, oh wait, this is a Hell Knight. This is a fiend.
So it's an actual thing.
Yeah.
Not just a,
And you're like, now that you know what it is, it's terrifying because these are the ones that like protect the passageways in the 9 hells. So these are like very powerful devils. So that all that's kind of in your calculus. It also means that you can negotiate with them because they're devils and not demons. So it's, might have an agenda. But none of that matters right now because you are being run through with a sword.
Oh no!
How does that make you feel?
quite anxious.
All right.
Because there's a lot of information happening all at once. I'm not even
Yeah.
too sure I recognize the sword is coming at me right now. 'Cause
Yeah.
I've got Devil negotiating. Oh no! I can't just dispel it. What the fuck is that?
Take harm to your force.
Can I?
So
I
I'm
guess
putting,
I already
I'm
declared
putting
what I
another
was doing.
conflict. This is how this works. So you don't in this game you don't die unless you want to, right? But that doesn't mean you can't get run through with swords. Because what's happening now is we have a threat that Shag has mortally wounded, and that's going to be one that escalates quicker. So there's two threats in play right now. There's the Fire Knight guy who's escalated and has run through our friend of yours, and then your friend has been run through. So those are the kinds of things you need to deal with right now.
Okay. So following through on my action before, I have a 21.
21. Ooh, okay. Yay. A
Thank you.
Barovian coin.
Yay, a Barovian coin.
You also resolve this threat,
Okay.
and since this is off the table, it means you have narrative control. You tell me what happens.
Okay. So ducking under the sword, which unfortunately went to my friend instead, the cudgel slams into his knee, and he goes down and falls and tumbles down the stairs, and a huge clatter. And I grab onto Shag and say, "We have to go."
So this has escalated because this is not the threat you went after.
Right.
So you're losing consciousness. You're losing blood.
I still had that potion in me.
You have a potion, right?
I had that potion in me too that I had earlier.
Yeah.
I'm going to grab one of those potions that I made up earlier and swell it.
All right. Let's see how well you did on constructing that potion.
What is that roll? Because it's actually it's my trade as potion maker.
Yeah, so you can use your trade. This is going to be a. I think we're going to use will because you're defending yourself from dying.
So trade.
There's a lot of will rolls in this session.
18, 23.
All right. Look at that.
Lily's really good.
Wow, this game is for you, Stork.
Yeah, it is.
We finally found your game after all these years. So, all right, so you get to narrate.
Took a friend to create it.
All right, so you get to narrate. What happens?
Okay, so I drink this lily potion, and you see me light up, and you see the wound glow and close up.
Is that the light that just annihilates this fiend?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
Of course.
This is
I'm gonna since we're getting that, I'm gonna drink it, and I it's one of these eyes glow, mouth glows, white comes out of the mouth. I'm glowing all white, and it annihilates this fiend. And then
Take it easy, Lopan.
yeah, it's a low pan moment. White coming out of his mouth. Huh, Dave? What was that?
He can also be Fifth Element. There's a few things here.
All right, well, the way is open now. So if
I
you
need
want to
to
go
show you
back
the
up.
Lopan style, by the way, the video.
I am gonna grab a moment and check the, I don't know, empty armor full of horrible demon, whatever it is, to see if he has any keys or anything. Because again, this place is full of doors.
Yes. This is a key made out of gemstone. It's made out of bloodstone, so it's kind of green with red freckles in it.
Okay.
That might actually just be the key to hell. 'Cause
I mean, you know, you never know when those things will come in handy. And
Right.
also, while I'm in there, just checking to see if there's anything that's like a map. I don't know. I don't know if they're carrying out castle maps or anything. I have no clue. Or any sort of correspondence, because I speak Infernal, just in case that comes into play.
All right. Well, it sounds like you're going a little deeper than where I was going. So there's still a conflict in play, or a threat, rather, called Roland is... Where is Roland?
Yeah.
So that's what you're going after. You're trying to get to the root cause here, and you can see
fair,
that
it's
the
fair.
hourglass is...
No, please don't show that again. It makes me really stressed out.
So where is Roland? And given how you're doing it and the motivation behind it, let's call this a force roll.
Okay.
So you're really kind of using courage and strength to kind of persevere in this case. I'm also going to tell you a little bit more about that key.
Nat 20 plus 5.
Okay, cool.
Cool stuff happens,
All
apparently.
right, so, well,
is
this,
that a natural 20?
Yeah.
this actually resolves a threat, so this means you're going to know where Roland is.
All right. Map to Roland for no apparent reason.
So, I should have made that a multi-stage threat, but, you know, too late now.
You kept us very busy otherwise. To be
He's in
fair,
room 4
it's
of
hard to
the 3rd floor.
No, well, the knight has a scroll which has orders on it, and the orders are to protect the tomb, and this is the key to that tomb. So you actually know, and this is where they're keeping Roland.
Okay.
So he's been cooped up in a tomb.
He's in one of these, and apparently this is the key that opens
So
it.
you need to find a bloodstone tomb
All right.
in all of these tombs.
No problem, guys.
So you can just start opening them if you want.
Yeah, I'm sure that's.
I've got all of them listed here, so I can I can tell you what's in them.
I don't have a detect magic is the problem.
Little tomb,
the one-
little
the-
tomb
yeah.
of horrors.
You can push yourself, and remember you have currency. So if you want it to be true that you have detect magic, you can pay for it. Say you have it. If you want to use your Barovian coins, that's what they're for.
Well, if I'm going to do that, then why don't I just have a detect Roland spell?
Well, you could, you could, totally.
Yeah.
But then then we're going to make a threat out of it, and we'll
That's
see.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you touched the key, you can now concoct a detect Roland spell.
Well,
So-
now that I know where he is, because it's somewhere in the area, I'm going to,
Small AoE.
and because I do know him, we've narrowed it down. Instead of it being a lofty castle, it's like he's in that direction. I can now say he's
And
on the left side. Yeah,
Third
exactly.
tomb from the left.
Yes.
Yeah.
Straight on until morning.
Yep.
Okay, so just want to show you the difference of this game and other more traditional games.
Sure.
This wouldn't be normally you'd be like, oh, I'm going to go find Roland. The threat isn't where is Roland. We've already resolved that.
Right.
The threat is Roland is in trouble.
Uh-oh.
So you need to find
Nice.
him because something's wrong. Right?
Sure.
Okay. So we'll go with that. That is it, and I guess this is a. If this is a spell that's based on you knowing him, let's use charisma.
Okay. So that is the 8. I had no idea it was so charismatic.
You are a warlock.
Okay, and this is also mysticism, so I get a
Yes.
6 for that?
Anything else you want? You want to use a discipline? I would.
I think I'm gonna, just
I
because
think that's. Is there divination? I forget.
I have a discipline, evocation, abjuration, and illusion.
Let's go with abjuration, which is a rough. D&D purists wouldn't
That-
like that, but let's go with it.
But
You
yeah,
know, I think D&D purists have turned off this stream
I'm gonna do the D6
an hour
for that.
ago.
That's a pretty healthy pool there. Wow! I just want you to look at the 4, 4, 1, and 2.
Perfect. That's
I
why.
have failed again. I've got 4, 8. No, I got 10.
No, 4, 8. I only get one extra bonus, right?
Right.
So 8. So I have failed.
That is why we roll to find out. So we're going to escalate. Roland is in trouble.
Uh-oh.
I think you may have spoken too soon about finding your game.
All right, well, no, I mean,
No, he's making the game more fun. What are you
it's
talking
true
about?
that he can find Roland, so we're not going to X that. You know where he is, but he's not Roland anymore. Roland has been corrupted and turned into something else. And that something else is now hunting you.
Okay.
It
Well-
is trapped in this tomb, smells you, and wants to eat you. It's hungry. You can feel the hunger. It's like it was when you went into that dining room. That kind of hunger. You smell like a warm piece of bread with butter.
Well, we found Roland.
Okay, great. Where is he?
Well, the thing is, he's not Roland anymore, and I explained to them what's going on. Do we really need to get Roland now? I mean, I might be able to try to get rid of his curse, but
Can we do? Does anybody remember the exact wording of the rules of the game? You must find Roland within the timing, which we have, and then and then you may leave with him,
That was what he said.
and then you may leave with him. It didn't
Exactly.
say, and then you must leave with him, and you may
said may.
leave with him. just saying.
Is there any chance he can still get us home?
if we can get Roland, and even if he's alive or dead, if we have to incapacitate him, we can still technically leave according to the rules. I might be able to dispel the curse that's on him, but we need to get to him, and he's. And I point to.
Yeah, you can. It's like
He's that tomb
6
there.
tombs in, 4 tombs
In fact,
over.
if you listen very carefully, you can hear him slabbering and growling for us.
Oh, charming. Well, I guess I will keep him busy while you do whatever you need to do to dispel that curse.
Okay. Yeah.
All right.
Okay, so as we approach the tomb, which we now know contains Roland, the tomb is currently closed because I have the key, correct?
Hold on.
Okay.
I want to cast Protect Evil
Okay. Yeah. All right.
on all of us.
Many times as possible.
Again.
Or rather, protection from evil.
That's it.
Don't protect the evil.
We're
Let's
not going
get
to roll
that
for it yet because
semantics.
we're going to see what the threat is
Okay.
first. Well, there's still a threat in play, which is Roland is in trouble.
Okay.
Escalated. But yeah, she cast it. Hopefully it'll work.
Yes. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Before you got too far, I wanted to make sure we had the protection from evil.
No,
Carry on.
This is great because this is us being like, yes, he's in there. What are we going to do now? Let's talk about it. As far as I'm concerned, I will happily argue the idea that this is now on pause. If Strahd himself
still
shows
gonna
up,
go.
I will argue it. We did in fact locate him, and we do have the key, and it's all there. We just do we tie him up? How do we restrain him? I don't really want to crown him king of the underworld here because we might accidentally kill him. And, Roland is our friend.
I could try to, if he's cursed, I can try to dispel the curse. It really depends on how well I do. And I could probably recast it a couple of times if I fail.
It depends. It'd take it a different approach because one time won't work. You have to do it a different way.
Right. There's a couple of ways I could try it, but that's really the only option I have other than incapacitating him as best we can.
If he's still living, I can knock him out.
Okay. Question. As we approach the tomb in question, how does it appear to open? Is it like a flap open? Is it like a push open?
It's like a slide open. It's a stand-up, like a above ground tomb.
Okay.
And a slide open. It's made of that bloodstone.
Bloodstone?
Yeah.
Okay. So as soon as we crack this lock, he could theoretically push it open himself.
It's a sepulcher, not a tooth,
Okay.
like they have in New Orleans. the
You
above ground
better
thing.
let Strahd know that he is calling this the wrong thing.
I was trying to like in my brain because I kept thinking tomb as well.
Right.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
niches.
Yeah.
And then when he started describing it, I'm like, oh no, that's different. That's a sepulcher.
Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
the ones in New Orleans.
Because I was
Well,
yeah.
actually, Strahd.
It just changed what I saw in my head. That's
No,
all.
yeah.
I
And
just
for
wanted
me,
to
I
share
was,
it with you.
yeah, I was seeing like a coffin type thing myself. So I was like, wait a minute, I'm not seeing this correctly. So we could plan to try to open it a crack and or hold him in while you attempt to see what's going on in there. But there's 2 of us versus 1 of him.
Question: what does Hellish Rebuke do?
When you get harmed, you can
Okay.
immediately retaliate.
Okay. The others are all pretty self-explanatory.
We could muscle this door a little open and just hold it shut, maybe.
Yeah, I think if you and I both brace
Yeah.
the door and let
Hopefully get a
Snug
little
take
more
look.
information. Yeah.
Shag.
So you're gonna put the key in.
All right. So, do you need your hands to do whatever you need to do?
Yes, I do. So I'm going to step back a couple. But before we do anything, let me cast Protection from Evil.
You okay?
Okay.
Yeah. So it's gonna be here's the order from what I understand. Protection from evil. Key goes in lock once you're in position. Turn the key, and then the two of us try to open it a crack so that you can
Just fling it open.
determine.
Just fling it open. Because I want to get a good shot at him.
Is he crazy?
You're asking that
We don't have
now.
time
Yeah.
to argue. We're running out of time.
Okay. If he says he can handle it,
You put
he can.
the key in.
can-
Yep.
You hear footsteps behind you and a woman's voice that says, "Oh, visitors."
Damn it.
And there are 3 women behind you.
Is it the same women we just left from upstairs? Oh, it's somebody
Is
No,
else.
it the
these
3
are-
women you saw?
these are like-
the hags.
Flowing robes,
Are these the same
very
hags?
beautiful.
Are these the hags I saw upstairs? No.
No, these are different women.
Are they wearing the same clothes though?
Yeah, they have different cut, but they're all they're dressed really well, dressed almost like Strahd. Like these
Right.
are
Key out.
These
No,
are
stick with the plan. Open
Key
it quick.
in.
these are the wives.
Just open it up
Oh
quick.
no.
Yep.
Because if this works, then we have another helper.
So you're just gonna ignore the
Yeah.
wives. All right, well, the
For
wives will escalate, but we'll deal with Roland is in trouble.
All right, fine.
And if it doesn't, we can go into the into the sepulchre and fight from there.
So if you say to do it anyway,
Do
and
it.
you say nothing, what is your response to him saying do it anyway?
He says throw open the doors. We have the visitors. I turn around and go on to like a guard position and say do it.
Then we do it.
Okay, so the Protection from Evil got cast, right?
Yes.
Go team.
Now it's a stressful situation, so I've got to cast Remove Curse. So that's a...
Which you're definitely going to get right this time.
Yes!
This is you
Yes.
practiced and now you've got it.
And is that a D20 or a D... That's a D20 over
It's
there.
a D8. You can do an
No.
8, 6, or 4. Oh,
That's an 8, 6, or 4. Okay.
yeah. Sorry about that, Mike. Right. So the protection of good and evil is going to give you an advantage.
Okay.
Because otherwise it'll be 2 actions in effect. So because really what you're trying to do is decurse him, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you're going to try to give yourself an advantage in doing so.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So it's like the twitchy zombie movies. You know, as soon as you open it up, it's just this ravenous monster comes rushing out. Slight caricature of the man who used to be, and all teeth, claws, ravenous, starved. And let's see what happens.
Okay, so
This
I'm
is,
trying to
Roland
build
is
my
in
dice
trouble.
pool still. So I've got the fact that it's a. So I'm going to use another D8 on this.
Yeah. And you get
Mysticism.
you get 2 of your stat dice because this is an advantage.
2 of my stat dice.
Yeah.
And this is what? Oh yeah, is it will or force?
Force in this point. I think it's force. You could argue will. I mean, if this is something that's going to take a lot of your energy, it could be will. But I'm viewing it as force because you're trying to repel him.
And I'm getting 2 of those.
Yeah.
So I've got my base D20. I've got my 6 for mysticism. I've got 2 for the force and a D8 for. And I'm going to spend the D8 on that.
Yeah.
All right.
Spin now.
You guys ready?
Yes.
Do this. That's a nat 20, right?
No, no. It is unbelievable. I have a 2 on my 20.
Oh my god.
I have a 4. That's the other highest dice.
Okay. Okay.
I have 6.
You
I
are
have
making
rolled
this game
a
awesome.
6.
It would have been too easy. No. I'm into it.
When we were coordinating this, Kimmy said, "Oh, there's a bunch of dice at the studio," and I went, "I'll bring my own because I'm pretty sure Stork hasn't touched those."
I've been doing fine until the last 2 rolls.
I
Now, there's
also
a lot
brought
of
my
threats
own,
in play, so I've got
but
to.
I didn't know it was because of that.
There's a lot of threats in play, so we are going to walk through them.
Okay.
We have Roland is in trouble, has been escalated,
Okay.
which means he is in the process of devouring you.
Of course.
Wait,
I
you
would
weren't the
expect
first
nothing
one
less.
there. No.
No, but they're on either side, and he sees me. Now, I still have protection from evil. on.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
Right, but it's not working.
So
The detection for evil was to give you an advantage on doing this, which the whole thing fell apart.
Okay, right.
So it's not working, and maybe it's because he's not actually evil
Right.
and really hungry. You
Right.
don't know. You don't really have time to think about it.
No, I don't.
Because he's
Coming
like-
right at me.
You're being ripped. Like
Okay.
he's ripping you apart.
Okay.
And because he wants to get to the good juicy organs.
Sure, I would expect
And
nothing
he has to
less.
break apart the rib cage to
God
get to
got
those
it.
lungs, right? And so that's another threat that Shag's happening to Shag. Now the wives have joined in on this feast because they're like, hey, brunch. And so the wives are now on YouTube, and one of them has grabbed you from behind and is like, you're doing the full bloodletting thing.
okay.
And the other one is jumping at you, has not yet grabbed you, but you're being threatened by that. So there's a lot happening all at once, and those are the three things that we need to deal with. Roland himself, still under this curse, but now just tearing apart. By the way, this is going to be a damage on force.
Another one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if you take one more, you can't use that die anymore.
Okay.
And then you have to deal with. Well, I mean, you can deal with whatever you want, but you have an immediate threat right now. Both of
Okay. Is she stooping or has she lifted me?
She has lifted you. Good question.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. If she has lifted me, then I want to see if I can. So she's holding me and like she's draining me, and I want to see if I can kind of like wrestle up to be on her back instead, so that she's not holding me, and that that I'm in a controlling position of at least she can't reach back at me
Right.
this way.
Yeah, sure.
So
Okay.
I'm gonna try and scramble up.
All right, let's do will. That's a defensive move. And,
Okay.
Anything else you can add in there, I would.
Yeah.
So this is already escalated.
I don't see that this is swordplay, defend from harm, or fight an opponent at a distance.
You could do defend from harm. I mean, you're using basically tactics to better
Okay.
your position.
Sure. Let's do that. 21.
Okay.
Oh, 22.
Awesome. This is a one-stage threat, so you can just tell me what happens from there. And wives are inclusive. So you're being threatened by one, but he's taking care of the entire threat with this move. So you have to
Okay.
kind of figure out how that works.
I think that what happens is I scramble up on her back, and I'm able to grab the cudgel and use it like a bit. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to. Why would she drive? How is that going to work? My thought was that they would kind of get tangled up, and their claws and fangs would start attacking each other, like a
you have her
bloodlust
in a
thing.
threatening position, so you don't have to. I mean, you can say stand down or whatever it
Yeah,
is to
you-
dispel the threat.
She can be your hostage.
And you have narrative control, so you can decide.
Yeah. So I'll have. I've got her with the cudgel as a bit, and I say to the other ones, "Leave now, or I'll twist her head off."
And they're like, and they're bats, and they're gone. They cannot wait.
Okay. So I turn to you and say,
Is she still
"Figure
here?
out roll." And I'm still like, I think I'm still holding her.
Shag's in trouble.
Yeah. All right. So you've dispelled two of them. The third one is still with us, right? Or
Yeah.
did she also bat out?
Oh no, they batted out.
They all
Yeah,
batted
they're
out.
Like,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I'm not gonna mess with this. And the one that you were hostage, did
Okay.
she bat out? You have narrative control.
That's what I was wondering. Did she
yeah.
bat out or not?
Yeah, I think she would leave
Yeah.
too.
No, screw this.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna have an easy lunch. I don't want
Right,
adventures.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This
We're
lunch
gonna
bites
go
back.
to vampire yoga instead. Screw this.
We're running out of time.
All right. I turn to you and I'm like, okay, we're just gonna have to yank him off. So I'm just gonna yank him off. Just force yank him off. Doing it.
Yeah. Force.
That's gonna be a 12.
Okay. 12 is good enough.
Right.
So he's like like a 6-year-old who's trying to get the
Yeah.
candy. You're
Give
trying
me,
to
give me,
play,
give me.
and you yank him back.
Yeah. Cudgel? Does it turn him this way?
Yeah.
You want to give him the bite on that as well?
You're in a world of pain, but you can think if you want to try to get after Roland, who's about to escalate again.
I'm going to try to remove curse again, but this time it's personal. So I'm going to try to use will.
Yeah, okay.
Because this time it's and I'm touching him.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, Roland, snap out of it, buddy, and
Come back
try
to us.
remove curse on him.
Yeah, all right. Everything you got.
Is that will or charisma? Like, are you just trying
Ooh,
to
yeah,
Charisma.
charisma.
It's
I'm going to
charisma.
use charisma.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And then because you are
Thank you.
restraining him, you'll get her charisma die too.
Okay,
Okay,
so
take an additional d6 then.
An additional d6.
okay, so let me stack this up. Basic die, mysticism, so that's 2. Charisma is an 8. Her charisma is a 6. Do I get another 8 for charisma as well? For my charisma as well?
Yeah, for your charisma. Uh-huh.
So I have 2 dice for my charisma bows.
Well, you have hers and yours.
Okay, so that all right. Because last time you had me do 2.
Yeah, because you had an advantage. I can't remember why.
Right. Okay. I'm
Oh,
going to
because of the,
spend.
protect.
This is actually what is this? Oh, this. So I'm going to use it. I'm going to spend to do a D4, and then I'm done with that.
It's a big pool. You can do it, Stork.
11
Yay!
plus 6,
Ooh, plus 6. All right.
17.
Yay.
This was a single stage threat, everyone, that took 3 escalations before we finally...
17.
17. Awesome. So,
And just as the last grain fell, look at
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice.
That's
the
incredible.
curse goes...
Wow.
and he crumbles unconscious, but you can tell it's free of him. And at this point, you get the slow clap.
Eh,
Wow, did we just... Yay, us!
that was so cinematic.
Show that to everyone.
We were playing by real...
There's a tiny bit left. You can see it. You can see it
We're
still
playing by
going.
real rules here.
Oh
so
my gosh.
Woo!
It seems you have perseverance. You are welcome in my home anytime. And there's mist. And in a moment or two, you're standing in the study again. You have Roland in your arms.
Yay.
Is he awake?
He's unconscious.
Okay.
He took, and you are about to be. You have taken some serious blows here. Blows? You've been ripped up. So,
Okay, so we all agree that Roland's not going to believe anything, right? He's going to wake up and say, oh, yeah, sure. We went to Strahd's castle. Sure, we did. Oh, and you saved me. Of course you did.
And you were there, and you were there.
And I'll miss you most of all, Scarecrow.
all right. So let's do a epilogue, so we can see how your character story ends. Roland is going to recover. You're going to recover.
I guess I'll start then. I pass out, and I think one of them just takes me to a couch or whatever and opens up my thing and pours some of that glowing potion in me, because I think I made 4 and I had 1, so I had 2 left.
Superior healing potion.
Yes.
And one left to science on.
Right, exactly.
To try and replicate.
And but I'm still it hurt, and I'm
Yeah.
exhausted, and I'm so I'm just gonna stay on the couch, and I think that's it. And then afterwards, once Roland recovers, I go back to looking for more recipes and sciencing on our lily sap.
Powerful restorative. Maybe you ended up with like a seedling from the sap, and you can start growing them,
Perfect.
naming them.
They're all his friends now. He's got a whole crew of them, and he's like, shh, I'm talking to my friends. There's all these little lilies, like, seem very attentive to him.
Audrey, too.
Thank you, Missy Mom.
I think that Edwin sticks around to make sure that Roland is, upright and normal, and that Shag recovers. And then I think he decides that he is going to seek his fortune elsewhere, like maybe not getting involved with extra planner travel, and just maybe I'll just join a caravan for a while and just kind of walk the earth.
Deal with bandits for a change.
Alrighty. Well, you there had an exciting adventure and did come out of it with a skeleton key. So it's now looking for all the various things a skeleton key could open.
Oh, a new quest.
Can she get back into Barovia and come and go at her leisure?
I mean, at this point, who knows? We could definitely look around Roland's office and maybe some some papers might disappear here and there.
As long as they don't end up back in Thay.
Well, I have the invite and the key, just saying.
Right. It was an official invite. He did say we were all welcome. We
Anytime.
just have to figure out how to get back there.
Yeah, I think actually that Edwin has nightmares about being back there at any time.
I think that's pretty much part of his master plan, which is anybody who has the balls to come back here.
We'll actually have lunch with you, you know. Good on you.
Us and our army of clerics.
Yeah.
But somewhere out there's a very sad chef who's like, no one ever eats my food. I prepare all this stuff. What a waste.
If Roland was awake, I was going to grab the hunk of cheese that I
right,
had,
you
and I was
still
going to give it to him and say, "You're not you when you're hungry."
Aww. Don't be a diva.
All right. Well, I think that'll wrap that scary adventure.
That was fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Super
It
fun.
actually, it actually got like tense for like, oh no.
People wonder about this system, you know, well, you don't die. I'm like, trust me, it's not about that. You'll find plenty to be worried about.
Oh yeah.
I feel like there's a great bonus to the idea that you start stacking up various threats until it feels like, oh, how are we going to dig our way out of this pile of little threat papers? I don't like this at all.
I was running a Highcaster game once, and there were, I think, 8 or 9 threats in play all at once. And it
Wow.
was just like, and it kept escalating, and they're like, ah! I have a fear of index cards!
Can I tap that? Is that a condition I can use?
All right, cool. Well, I should get my glasses for this. Thank you all for joining. I hope
Yes, thank you.
I hope you enjoyed the spooky take of Happy Jack's night. Spooky. I don't know. We can't really do that, can we? That is the end of tonight's session. Join us. We are going to be back. I'm not sure what the schedule is, but if you go to happyjacks.org, you will see the calendar, which Kimmy keeps up to date, and you can see all of the shows up there. I know my campaign is starting on Sunday evenings, beginning in a couple of weeks. So definitely tune into that. I think Stu's got one going on. There's a lot of good stuff happening.
Right. Every other Sunday is our other game, the Eldamy game,
Yeah.
and I think every Monday is the Traveler Drop game.
Oh, right.
So, depending on when you're watching that, it's Jason is doing a Traveler-esque game. It doesn't look like he's taking full-on Traveler. There's a lot more dice than I'm normally used to.
He
Are you
does
in
like
that?
dice. He does like that.
Yeah, he's he took the character creation mechanics, but he's trying out a D8 system rather than D6.
Okay.
Those crazy kids.
Yep.
Yeah, I know.
Great. Well, keep up on that calendar because lots of good stuff is coming down the pike. And join us for the other APs. I think I just said that. Be sure to visit happyjacks.org and all of the auxiliary social media platforms. Except for me, we don't go there. Yeah. All of the other platforms. And TikTok. Hang out there. We should get a TikTok. Oh, Kimmy will
Should
hate
we?
me. Yeah,
No.
we should. Let's
Do we?
that.
Do we really?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. All right, that's it. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
I'll
Bye.
put the calendar up for everybody.